Welcome back to Trifecta Airsoft Podcast. I'm your host, E-Rock. This episode is sponsored by Skirmish, Airsoft Connected. It's also sponsored by Hefe's Airsoft Solutions, a company that puts the airsoft community first. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's get to the podcast. Welcome, bro.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on. This is cool.
Yeah.
I can't remember, honestly, where I found you at. It was on Instagram, but...
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah.
I started watching your podcast probably as soon as I got back into Airsoft in September. I was just trying to flood my brain with as much information and,
Oh, yeah.
I was just trying to find, podcasts and reviews and stuff. So whoever was out there with anything, I was listening to it, watching, videos on reviews and stuff. And you popped up with a podcast because I just looked up podcasts. I looked up Airsoft podcast on, I think it was on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And it popped up, and I was like, "Oh, what the hell is this?" So I just started checking it out. I was like, "Damn, there's a bunch of shit on here." So I started listening to it, and so when I'm at work, usually it's all graveyard. So when I'm at work, I don't really listen to music too much anymore. I used to. I just listen to podcasts, whatever's on, or audiobooks or whatever. And I just been running your shit since then, man. Just been listening to your shit.
Hell yeah. Right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's when people message me and say, yeah, man, I just found your podcast. I've been binge watching or listening, like so many of them in a row. And I go, oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. It's cool.
I've been binging it probably, for the last probably like 3 weeks, really hardcore. Like,
Okay.
just listening to whatever I can get my hands on. Usually, it just usually plays through because sometimes I'll get through one, and I'll have to stop it for a little while. Then I'll jump on YouTube and watch some shit, and then
Oh, yeah.
I'll switch stores, go to a different store, and work again. Pop another one of your podcasts on
Okay.
Spotify.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can do the audio ones. Yep.
Yeah. Well, even on YouTube, it'll continue to play if I minimize the
Oh.
screen on my phone
Mhm.
and then just close my screen. It'll if I press my I have earbuds, and then if I just
Yeah.
play on my earbuds again, it'll just continue to play on
Oh.
YouTube. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I found you on Spotify too. So it's
Yeah.
either one.
Yeah. We're on these podcasts are on like I have a list that I can look up like the different stats.
Uh-huh.
So I use a podcasting service, and so I upload it to that, the audio version,
Mhm.
and it puts it out on everything, so I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that's solid.
And so it puts it out like right at the very beginning, because most of the
Mhm.
time what you do, like Spotify, you can do that for free without paying for a service, but it's going to take you a while to get found, right? Like you have to have very consistent, a lot of episodes, which, we're at that point now. I have,
Yeah.
a couple hundred or whatever, but it's like when I started out, I was like, I don't want to wait for all that stuff. So I pay for the service. Plus it has, it cleans up the audio better than I can do it.
Mhm.
And it does it really quickly. So I really enjoy using that service. But it puts it on everything, man. Stitcher, like there's so many things that I haven't even heard of. So many apps I've never even
Yeah.
heard of. And I scroll through the list because I can see the analytics. I scroll through the list and I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, I don't even know, bro. Podcorn and I don't know. So, yeah.
I don't know. I've
Dude.
never heard of that one.
Right? So, yeah. And then the video part, Spotify just within the last year or so started doing video as well.
Mhm.
So I put the video on, I put it on Rumble, YouTube, and Spotify, which is like Anchor FM.
Wow.
And then all the audio goes on all the different, things out there. So I was like, well, if I'm going to be this consistent, because we release a podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Mhm.
And then I might as well get it out there and see if
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I love
Yeah,
meeting
man.
people, so this is fun. You know, this is sitting here and
Yeah.
bullshit.
Oh yeah, that's good times, man. It's good
Right.
times. It's dope,
And
man.
yeah, dude, you get you. So I was going through some of your Instagram and stuff, and you got. Well, I guess why don't we do this? Why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll go over a little bit of your background and stuff. Because I don't really know a whole lot about you. Um,
Sure.
who you're associated, you know, like how you got in airsoft and all that kind of stuff. We'll go over, and yeah, let's do that.
All right, man. My name is ET. Um, it's a nickname. My
Okay.
dad gave it to me when I was born. I was born premature, so he said I looked like ET when I was born, and it just kind of stuck. All my
Oh
teachers,
shit.
all my friends and family,
Yeah.
everybody called me ET, so it just stuck.
Okay.
But on the airsoft field here locally, on the airsoft field, everybody calls me Bred. So I just been going by Bred. That's what my handle is on Instagram and shit. And
Yeah.
um, got into airsoft actually in September of last year. Back into it because when I was a
Okay.
kid, of course, like everybody's stores, they got the Springer and shit, and you know, I've been playing with BB guns since I was a little boy. You know,
Yeah.
I got into airsoft. My mom bought me I remember it was like a Glock Springer. It looked like a Glock. I don't know if it was
Hmm.
Glock or not. But I would play with it and I liked it because I could fit more BBs into it as opposed to this pellet gun that my dad let me use when I was a kid. And I got in trouble with the pellet gun because I was shooting birds in the backyard, and
Fuck yeah.
it was in the backyard of a apartment complex, and one of the next door neighbors brought the bird straight to the front door, knocked on the door, and was like, "I think your son's shooting birds in the backyard." And my mom was like, "Oh, I'm not sure if he's doing it or not, but I'll talk to him." And then after that, I couldn't play with the BB gun that often anymore. So
Oh
she
shit.
bought
Yeah.
she bought me a plastic the Springer that shot plastic BBs, and she thought it would be
Uh-huh.
a little bit more, you know, safer or whatever, and I wouldn't be able to kill shit with it. So, so after that, it just progressed. After that, I was always into guns and playing with toy guns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, Big Five was like the only store that I knew that sold them when I was a kid. So we'd always go over there, buy
Okay.
AGs over there and shit, and
Big
um,
Five. That's in Cali, right? Is that
yeah,
West Coast?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm originally from Cali, born and raised in California, Central
Gotcha.
Coast. It's Santa Maria. It's about probably an hour north of Santa Barbara, 2 hours north of like LA County.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
so we're right in between LA and San Francisco.
Yep.
It's a beach town like Pismo Beach. I don't know if you've ever been that far up. Um,
I don't think I've been
'Cause you,
that. So the farthest north I went when I was out there was Yosemite
oh, that's even
National Park.
further. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
further. That's further up.
Okay.
So we're right in the middle. We're right in the middle of California.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, we got back into it. We moved out here to Vegas a couple of years ago. What was it? 2001? I believe it was in 2001 when we came out here.
Okay.
Um, my father-in-law, as a matter of fact, God rest his soul, was battling cancer. So we came out here to bring him closer to family. You know, bring all his grandchildren all together, and you know, him and his sisters and everything, and you know, just to make his transition a little bit easier and stuff like that. So
Sure.
we came out here, and I was just looking for shit to do. You know, me and my son. I was looking for something for me and my son to do, and I think something came up on on my timeline with airsoft. It might have been kicking Mustang or something like that. I just saw somebody shooting people right in the face from deep. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. So I
Right.
looked into it, started looking up more YouTube videos, then started looking up reviews, and then I reached out to some of my friends out here in Vegas, whom I met through my fiance, and I just put it in the group chat or the group text, and I was like, "Hey, anybody want to play some airsoft?" And a couple of guys reached out. Then I reached out to all my brother-in-laws out here, and a couple of my friends they bought their guns, but they never made it out to the field. And
Okay.
me and my brother-in-laws, there's three of them, one of their sons, my son, we all went out and played and fucking just had a fucking blast, bro. I mean, I just had I didn't kill shit. I didn't shoot nobody that day, but I just had so much fun, man. I just had so much fun because I was out there with my little boy. He's only 6. He's 6 years old, and he's fucking running out there, man. He's having a good time pushing and calling out, and we just had a blast. So since September of last year, we just been pretty heavy on pretty heavy on the airsoft tip. Just going.
Now, when you guys went out, it was just like it wasn't an actual like official field, right? It was just like a pickup game with one of your buddies.
It was an official field. It's a local field out here in Vegas called Las Vegas Premier Paintball. So it's primarily all paintball. Okay. Primarily all paintball. Right. But Fridays and Sundays are the days they play out here in Vegas.
Okay.
And we went out. Our first time out was Friday. It was packed. And it's the fields that they allow airsoft on is pretty small. It's probably maybe, I don't know, maybe half a football field, 50 yards deep. That's about it.
Right.
It's we've got a bunch of cover everywhere, but because it was so packed, you've got 3 or 4 people behind one cover.
Yep.
Most spots. So it was kind of tough to get used to the field and understand angles and learn the map. But after a couple of times going out there, we had a good time, man. So now we go out on Sundays because it's a little less packed. It's during the day. But that time we went out on a Friday, we went Friday at around probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the games ran until about 10. My brother-in-laws and my nephew, they left at probably 7:38.
Yeah.
Me and my son, we were still out there probably until 9:30. I was like, man, we're gonna chill. We're gonna go ahead and get our money's worth today, buddy.
Right.
Yeah. So, but ever since then, we've just been in the airsoft. Pretty tough, man. Going out there, we try to get there at least twice a month. On a good month, we'll get out there twice, but it's been probably once a month we've been getting out there. I got a baby daughter. I've got 4 kids, so it's hard to balance. It's hard to balance.
I know. You're busy, bro.
Yeah. And 3 of them are still very young. I have a 16-year-old. She's the eldest. Okay. And then I have a 6-year-old, my boy Tyson, who goes out and plays with me. 3-year-old Takeo, he goes out to the field and watches. Right. And then my youngest is just turned 1 in December, so she's been out there too. But the reason why I don't like taking her out too much is because the paintball players, or where they particularly play, is right where the staging area is, where we all set up and just chill, and there's paintballs always flying through the net all every time we go out and play. Shit. So I was like, nah, fuck this, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't
right.
You know what I'm saying? So so she's been chilling. But yeah, we go out. My fiancé now goes out with us and plays.
That's cool.
And when it's all 3 of us, when it's my son, my fiancé, and me, and sometimes her brother will go. When it's us 3 out there, man, I have a fucking blast. I just have a great time playing with my family. It's so fun. Sure. Man. It's so fun.
This is I've talked about this so many times on this podcast because it's I'm still kind of surprised at how I guess how many families are involved in airsoft together.
Right,
it's
right.
like boyfriend, girlfriends, like this is their hobby together.
Yeah.
Husband, wife, spouses, like families, like kids come out with them.
Yeah.
It's a whole family thing, or like you said, like your brother-in-laws and stuff. And then, it blows my mind because there's no other hobby as an adult that really incorporates that amount of, that broad spectrum of family.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, hey, let's go.
Nothing like it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was telling my son today, because he woke up kind of grumpy, and I told him, man, you got to wake up happy, bro. Don't wake up, so don't waste your time being sad. Be happy. Be happy that you woke up today. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what makes you happy? Airsoft makes you happy. Soccer makes you happy. I was like, you know why I like airsoft so much? I was talking to him. I was like, you know what I love airsoft so much? It's because I can compete with you. I can't go out on the soccer field and compete when you compete.
Yeah.
I'll blow those kids out, you know what I'm saying? But if we go out on the airsoft field, it's you and I. We can compete together. There's no age limit there. Everybody's on the same playing field.
Yeah.
That's why I love airsoft so much. Even with my
Y-
fiance, like the first couple of times, she was kind of, very tentative, very, kind of scared and shit. But now she, bought her own AEG for Christmas. I got a mystery box from Airsoft GI for Christmas, and man,
Hell yeah.
her gun's dope as hell. Her gun is doper than mine. And
Oh, what did she get out
yeah,
of it? What did she get out of it?
she got a Zion Arms PW9 Mod 1. It's a
Oh
PCC. I'll
shit.
show you.
I've never seen it. Yeah, I've never seen one of those. Okay.
That's right.
Dude, that's nice. That reminds me of the Black Rain we got. But what is that? The 9 millimeter version.
Yeah.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah. And it has a built-in MOSFET. Built
Nice.
in. You ain't got to do nothing to it, man, really. I mean, you could do the, pipe bore barrel and
Right.
the bucking and stuff like that, but I like shit right out the box where I don't have to touch shit.
Yeah, man.
Because
Yeah, don't be
because
fucking around with that shit.
I probably fuck it up, you know what I mean?
Most people do. They really do. There's so many.
Yeah.
Listen, bro. It's like people they buy these things. They don't even take it out to practice. Like they
Mhm.
don't try to shoot it. They don't try to mess with it. So many people I've talked with do this thing right here where they get it, open the box, already have some upgraded parts ready for it,
Uh-huh.
take the shit apart, put all this stuff in there. They don't know what they're doing, and then take it out and go, "Oh, it doesn't work, bro." Oh, I'm
I'm
like,
not
what do
doing
you?
it. I'm not doing it. I'll pay somebody to do that shit. I am
Yeah,
not doing
yeah.
that shit myself. I mean, I could do a barrel and maybe a bucking. That's as far as I'll go. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
right. Well, I worked
Yeah,
on these
man.
gearboxes when we started, and I was. They would bring them in here and say, "Oh, this one's messed up or whatever," and because our channel started out as unboxing and reviews,
Right.
so we did the mystery boxes, the Airsoft GI, and
Hmm.
the EVIC BOAs and all that shit, and then we'd review the guns that we got, and then something would happen, and we would, I'd start messing with these gearboxes and stuff. So I mean, I've taken them apart. They're a pain in the ass. Most of them are really a pain in the ass. It really is, and there's a lot more that goes into it than people think. I mean, if you don't shim it right, I mean, if you want to make it last like a long time, right, like
Hmm.
a lot of use,
Right.
then yeah, the best thing is get it. If you get a halfway decent gun, just leave
Hmm.
it alone. If you
Leave
don't
it
know what you're
alone.
doing, just don't mess with it. Okay,
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching that shit.
right?
Hell no. That's why
Yeah.
most of the guns that we've got, straight out of the box. I'm not touching it. Like this fucker right here, this KWA, the
Ooh,
Ronin
nice,
T10. This one I
nice.
like.
Okay.
This is my go-to.
Yeah.
Um, Out the box, you don't got to. Don't touch. If you get a KWA T, like a Ronin T or any KWA, don't
Yeah.
touch it. Leave it
Yeah.
fucking
They're a good
stock.
brand. Uh huh.
Leave it stock. Leave it stock. It is great. There's no wobble to this
Now, what
fucking
did you?
shit.
Yeah. So, what? Show off what? So you got it, and then you put the. What did you put on it?
I mean, the only things I ever do is just foregrip and optic.
Yep.
Foregrip optic. That's pretty much it. I mean, I've got tracers and shit like that. This is off my lady's uh um her Zion arms. I took it
Okay.
off of hers and put it on here because I just like the way it
It
looked, and I gave
matches,
her the
bro. It looks
yeah
awesome.
I gave her the tracer. I put the tracer on
Hmm.
hers because I usually play during the day anyway.
Gotcha.
But we are getting an evic outpost out here
Yeah.
in Vegas. Well, it's
Oh.
out in Henderson, which is about 25-30 minutes. I guess it would be south of here.
Okay.
But they're having a battle lab indoor arena in there, and so I'll probably have to use the tracer then. But for the most part, I put the tracer on hers. I like the way it looks anyway with the tracer on this one. But I mean, hers with that same Lego looking block
Yeah.
mock support. Or
Suppressor.
I don't even. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But this right here, it looks slim. It looks clean.
Yeah. It looks
Uh,
badass, man. That's nice.
and I mean the picture quality doesn't do it justice, but this bronze color that they have, they always sell out of this one. It's like a burnt bronze. It
Uh
looks
huh.
dope as hell. Like in person, it looks dope as hell.
Right.
And our field only allows semi-auto, but they do allow binary. So
Oh.
this with the MOSFET, the Nebula MOSFET on this one, you put that bitch in binary, and you're competing with
Oof.
HPA guys.
Yeah, for
You're competing
sure.
with HPA's guy. Yeah, yeah.
It really is like those binaries are really like full auto.
Yeah,
Really close.
it changes the game for you. You know what
Uh-huh.
I mean? When it's semi-auto only, and you're going against HPAs, and they got those
Yeah.
those hair triggers, and they're just over there just feathering the fuck out of it. Finger fucking the trigger and shit. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
it's hard to go up against them once in a while. You know what I mean?
I saw this
So,
video a couple days ago on I don't know, I think on Instagram Reels or something. Somebody was messing with their setting the sensitivity on their trigger,
uh huh.
and they were so it was real close to the camera. Okay, they were showing how slightly they'd have to
Yeah,
touch, and I'm
yeah, yeah.
going, okay, now I've talked with people that have done that, and they're always like, I had to switch it back because there's always accidental discharge
Uh huh.
because they just barely move it, touch it, whatever. Like it's going off, it's going off, it's going off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, bro, how if you can't pull the trigger, like I understand you want to get that, you know how sensitive you want it, but
Yeah.
dude, if it's too sensitive, fuck that shit,
Nah.
bro.
I like a little wall. I like a little wall to
Yeah,
my trigger pull.
that's what I
Um.
like about some of these, like the Kythera builds and stuff, and
Mhm,
some of these ones that have a full mechanical trigger.
mhm.
So it feels like a real steel gun that the trigger that you're pulling.
Right. Right.
Hmm. You can't
Yeah.
shoot as fast as the other ones, but it's feels
Yeah.
more realistic.
Yeah. We're thinking about. Well, I'm thinking about me and Tyson, my boy Tyson, are thinking about building HPA on this one right here. Now, I took all the accessories off this one because I got to send this bitch back to. I bought it off of Red Wolf. I brought it to the field 2 weekends ago, and this is the MCX Virtus.
Nice,
I plugged in the battery and it just wouldn't fire.
huh?
Straight out the box. I mean, I bought all the accessories and shit. I didn't have it was Tamiya Dean's because all I had was Dean's batteries, and plugged in the and adapter to the battery, put it in semi, and I didn't get nothing,
Hmm.
no response, no nothing. So I'm waiting on Red Wolf to hit me back to see whether or not they can do anything to. I thought it was the fuse. I switched out the fuse, so I don't know if they're gonna allow me to return it because I already fucked with the I guess you could say, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
I don't think that like doing the fuse. I don't think that voids a warranty. But the some common thing. It may. I wonder if the gearbox needs reset. I forget what it's called, but the does that have a split gearbox or a quick change spring in the gearbox? Do you know?
It
So
has a quick change spring system on this one.
does it?
Yeah.
So
If you just take this part off, there's
and
a
then you can
little
see it
top in the back.
with the
Yeah, I
Allen
believe. So.
key,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hex
yeah,
key.
yeah, yeah.
Um, if you wanted to try it out, I've had to do it before.
Hmm.
The gear, I forget what location or how position that they're in when it's like whether it's back or forward, whatever, wherever it's not supposed to be stuck, it's like
Uh-huh.
stuck. But if you take the spring out, it'll reset.
Okay.
Once you take the tension off the spring, it'll
Uh-huh.
reset, and you won't have to open the gearbox or nothing. You can just have go in there and so this quick change springs. You get your hex key, push
Uh-huh.
it in. I've used even a flathead screwdriver as well.
Right, right.
So just make sure you got it, holding tight, whatever. I mean, the spring's not that heavy, but push it in just like not even a quarter inch.
Uh-huh.
Twist it to the left or right, doesn't matter, and then slowly let it out. And
Uh-huh.
if you do that and you hear it go wee, like the gears are kind of reset themselves,
Hmm.
then you should be good to go.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
it's
check
something
that
to
out.
try if you didn't want to mess, like wait for because it's a simple fix.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and do that. I was disappointed. We were disappointed. It was decked out. It was
Yeah, I'm
ready to go
sure.
and run it, man. And so
Well,
I
as
had to
soon as
run
you
all
get
the
something, you
space.
want to try it out, and if you weren't able to,
Yeah.
yeah, that sucks.
Well, we had it for probably 3 weeks before I took it out to the field because I was waiting for that adapter to come in. I had ordered it from
Oh,
Airsoft GI, and I think it's still on back order. So when I went out to the field, I met up with a group of the regulars that I usually run with. They're an airsoft team out here called Las Vegas Road. Shout out to them, man. They're a group of great guys. They made Tyson and my experience at the local airsoft field just an absolute blast, man.
Awesome.
Very welcoming.
Who is it now?
People. The team is called LV Rogue, Las Vegas Rogue.
Las Vegas Rogues?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Just a group of guys, man. They're just fucking awesome people. They're super nice.
Out.
Like, it was I think it was on a Sunday when one of our first Sundays that we went out. Probably our very first Sunday we went out. All the other tables were all taken by all the paintball guys. So Airsoft just had a little, we had a little skirt of tables, and most of those tables were taken too by all the Airsoft guys. But Ricky came over to me and he's like, "Hey man, you can scoop my bag over and put your stuff up on top." And after that, we just started chopping it up, and I got to know, each and one of them. I think I've met pretty much almost every member that they have on the team, and we get to play. We play with them pretty often. Probably I've played with them probably maybe five or six times probably since we've been going to the airsoft field. But these guys, they go out and they do the Mill Sims, they do Tactical League, SE Village. They go out and travel out to Cali and do all that shit.
Right.
So they travel and do those Mill Sims and all those events that they have that you see like on Instagram.
Right.
They just did what was the last one that just happened? I think it was,
there was a big one out there, Battle for LA.
Yeah, they did that one. They did that one out there. And they run with Biohazard.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they run with them. So they.
Dude, I had the guy that started Biohazard, that runs the Tactical League. I had him on here a few months ago. Yeah, he's cool as fuck.
Oh no shit! I think I listened to that podcast. I'm pretty sure I did. He's what was
I think his name's Michael. The guy that I talked with.
Is he part of KWA? I know it was like
KWA, KWA Tactical League.
Yeah. I listened to that one. Yeah. They run with them. So when they go out to Cali, they link up with Biohazard and they run with them quite often. So so I've been in talks with them trying to join the team and stuff. And they were just like, as long as you can make the events, man, you can be you can run with us and shit. So
right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And they got young kids too on the squad, like their sons and shit. So it's perfect for my boy Tyson.
Right.
Yeah, he runs with them when they're at the local field over here. We run with them, and Tyson runs with one of the members' sons. His name is what's his name? AJ. AJ is the father, and his son is Aiden. And Aiden, I think he's about 10 or 11 years old.
Okay.
He's a little bit bigger, but he's pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. Like I've had teenagers on here on the podcast because, a lot of, especially like indoor, the speed soft stuff. Some of these indoor fields have a lot of people that show up that are the younger generation. They're like, 12, 14, whatever. I think, I've had some 14-year-olds on here. 16, 17, all over with that, and they're just starting out, and I love to hear their stories because they're all excited about it, and they're like, they're showing off this new gun they got. It might be a Lancer Tactical, whatever, M4. They don't give a shit. They're like, man, they went out and played with their friends. It's cool. That's how everyone, most of us start out.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Lancer, man. They made leaps and bounds from their Gen 1s.
Right.
From their Gen 1s to their Gen 3s, because now their Gen 3s, they include that same Nebula MOSFET that are in these Zion ARM joints that have been coming out. And that Nebula MOSFET, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
Okay.
All my brother-in-laws, they all got Gen 3 Lancer Tacticals. When we went out, they all bought Gen 3 Lancer Tacticals.
Nice.
And they haven't had one issue, not one problem with their guns.
Dude. Airsoft GI, Cisco and Boaz, those guys, they did when Gen 3 first was coming out, when they were, when LT was just releasing it, they did a like a stress test on it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I don't know if you saw that video. It was
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hilarious, bro.
And they set
Because
that bitch on fire.
yeah, it lit it on fire. He's dropping it from you get up the stairs, whatever, and he's dropping it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he just sprays it and lights that shit on fire.
Yeah, I
It
see
was
that video,
hilarious.
man.
Yeah, man, it's fun. Yeah, they're cool, man. We had, Cisco does on the mystery boxes. They'll do like if you put in when you're checking out, if you put a note in the at checkout, like on
Right,
the
right.
thing, then if he sees it, whatever, he might put
Hmm.
this whatever you're looking for in there.
Right.
So we had done that before on
He
one of
calls it
our
granting
unboxings.
wishes.
Yeah,
He might
yeah,
grant your wish.
right. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't. I put in the notes when we bought this one. Well,
Okay,
when we got the mystery box for this one, I just put it that it was for my lady. I wanted something light, and something with a MOSFET already in it. And
nice,
I mean, and he
dude.
took
That's
care of
cool.
everything. And he
Yeah,
and
when
he
I did
added a couple extra mags too. It was pretty
right.
solid.
That's what we did. We had I had done the same thing, and I put the note in there saying I don't really, there's no preference on what gun or anything like that. We just something that's good for giveaways because at the time we would do the unboxings, the reviews, and then we would hold a giveaway like a month after, a month later or something for
Yeah.
one of those particular guns that we got in one of the mystery boxes. So I said whatever is good for a giveaway. So he gave us a CM16. I can't remember the model, but it was a no, it was a not a CM16. The classic Army. It was a really good gun. I can't remember which
Mhm.
one it was exactly, but it was a classic Army. It was really good. But he put these really nice gloves in there. He put two Odin speed loaders in there. Okay, like the box was awesome, man. Like it was really really good. And then he wrote us a letter. He wrote us a note in there, so it was cool.
Cisco's
We
a
had
good
fun with
guy,
it.
right?
Yeah,
Cisco's a
dude.
good guy. Have
When
you ever
I
been? Have you been on their live show? I'm sorry. Have you
no,
ever
go
been
ahead.
on their live streams? They do live streams every
Oh yeah,
Tuesday and Thursday. So they
oh
do
yeah,
those giveaways. All you
right.
gotta do is spend $20. You spend $20, you're entered into their live giveaway.
Yeah, I've
And
been on those. Yeah, watched him play. I've kind of joined him or joined the live or watching live when he's doing like the playing of whatever video game and shit like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah,
hilarious, dude.
yeah.
Oh
Now
yeah.
on Tuesdays, it's Isaiah's. He does the live streams on Tuesdays, and it's basically
Okay.
like a Q&A. And during the live stream, there's like if you order an X amount, I think it's like $50, you get 5 entries into
Gotcha.
the uh, live stream for Thursdays. And now I
Right.
think it starts at $600 now. It
Okay.
starts at
Damn.
600. Nobody picks it up or nobody claims it. It stacks, so it goes to 1200 on the next one.
Woo.
It used to be. I think it used to be. It started off at like 200 or 400. I could be wrong, but I knew
Wow.
it was much less. But now it starts at 600,
Oh,
and
that's
nobody claims it.
crazy.
I mean, um, one of the guys, he's a frequent. I think he's also a mod in their live stream.
Okay.
Airsoft Brewer. He won over $4,000
Holy
in winnings.
shit.
Yeah, man. And I think that was before the holidays, right before the
Okay.
holidays, and he probably still has credit now, $4,000 in airsoft money. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, bro. Have you seen some of these? I was talking with this dude. He's like, yeah, he's showing off this gun, and it looks like honestly, it just, on the outside, it looks just like what you just showed me, this other
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's nice. He's like, yeah, I just got this custom made from Umbrella Armory, and it was
Oh,
like
Umbrella Army.
yeah, $2,200, and and I'm like, wait, what? And because he just keeps talking like it's just normal, like this is just normal, bro. And I'm like, well, hold on. I said, wait.
My lady will kick my ass.
Oh
There's
my
no.
God. But now, this guy, he's been airsofting for over 10 years. He's been through a lot of different guns. He knew what he wanted. He knew, he plays a lot. So he wants
Mhm.
something that's going to be really solid for a long time.
Time, yeah.
That's not going to be, he won't have to maintenance. He won't have to do
Right.
shit to. It's already got everything upgraded parts in it from people that know how to do it where it's not going to
Uh-huh.
break. And if there's any issues, he can always send it back. They'll fix it and send it back to him. So, yeah, he wanted that kind of guarantee. So you know, it's a huge jump from when I first started this channel and knew nothing about airsoft.
Right.
And I was like, these guys would come home and talk about, yeah, I think we're going to get, or I know what we started getting these mystery boxes, and I'm going, wow, this is a pretty cool gun. And we look up the value of this particular thing or whatever, and like, oh, okay, it's like a $180 gun, almost $200 gun. To me, for a toy gun, I'm thinking that's kind of a lot. So,
Hmm.
and then we go out here and start testing it, and it's maybe not shooting perfect or whatever, or it might have some feeding issues here and there. And I'm like, well, whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, that's just normal because this is a really cheap, shitty gun. And I'm like, $200 for it? What? They're like, no, no, you got to spend like $600-700 to get a good gun. I'm like, holy shit, bro! I can go get a goddamn, Smith and Wesson Shield 9mm for $220 right
No,
now, bro.
for real.
Now the ammo, that's a different story.
That's a
Okay,
different story. Absolutely. Yeah,
right?
100%. But that's
Yeah,
why we don't
yeah.
go shooting as much anymore. We used to go
Fucking A,
shooting.
bro.
But now it's like fucking. It's hard to get. I own a 300 blackout, and I can't even find ammo for it. You
Ooh,
know what I
that
mean?
ammo is expensive as fuck, dude.
Yeah, we bought. My brother and I bought during the pandemic. We're like, fuck, it, we need to go ahead and just. And this is when we're still living in Cali, so it's hard to
Gotcha.
come by. It was hard to find pistols. It's hard to find anything. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? We went to one of our local shops and they had a couple of ARs sitting there, and I was like, all right, we'll just pick these two up. Just pick these two up because we had no idea. You know what I mean? Fear was running through us at the time. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we're like, we just got to be prepared. We got to be ready. I don't know what
Right.
the fuck's gonna go on. So we bought that, and we told the guy, whatever ammo that you have, we want it all. You know, any 5.56, any fucking 223, any blackout, give it to us all.
Hmm.
And give us all the 9mm that you have. Anything, we'll take it all, man. And so we went to go pick. When we picked up our guns, we were walking out with freaking a whole carton, a whole
Oh
fucking
shit.
huge box of ammo, man.
Hmm.
So we stocked up, but I haven't gone shooting with it. I'm just holding on to it like
Yeah,
it's
save it,
gold.
bro.
You know?
It's fucking like gold right now, dude.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see these YouTube channels that are out there steadily just fucking unloading mags, dumping mags everywhere
Not
for the
doing it.
YouTube for the video, and I'm like,
Uh-uh.
God damn. Now, granted, the ones that I've seen, they have a shit ton of subscribers, and their views on their
Right,
each video
right.
is a lot. So
Yeah, they'll make it back.
if they're making money from the videos, if it's not demonetized, then yeah. So otherwise, it's just I'm watching it going, holy fuck, man. There's like
Yeah,
$150 one
yeah.
mag. There's another. I'm like, Jesus, dude. We did the same thing. Luckily, my boys they uh, they started buying. Well, especially my oldest son, he started stocking up on ammo. This is like right after high school, right after he got out of high
Mhm.
school. So he's 28 now. So he started years before the ammo prices started going way up.
Oh
So
shit.
we had, I don't know, I think it was like, because I started an inventory list for him
Uh,
because we had, he built a 50 Beowulf, 50 cal Beowulf. It's a rifle that shoots like a 50 cal round, but it's like a modified pistol round,
hmm.
and thing's badass. Um, and we've got AK-47s, ARs, whatever, 15s and stuff. All these different ones. He got most in the Gaunts, so the long range,
Yeah.
those are 30 caliber. So he started stocking up on, and then of course we have 22s, but and then some pistols, all these different. I have a 40 cal, and then they have 9 mils, and then 22. And so he started stocking up all these different types of ammo, and then I have an old 38 as well. So he ammo cans everywhere in his room, in his closet and stuff. And I'm like, how many's in there? So he'd open it up. We'd count all this stuff, and I have this list, like Excel spreadsheet. And so I was like, dude, we had, I don't know, over 10,000 rounds of 5.56. We had like shotgun stuff. I mean, all this stuff in the thousands. Each one was in the thousands. I think we had like 30,000 rounds of 22s. So
Uh,
we started we were like, hey, this is after we started the Airsoft channel. And when we were talking about this, starting a Real Steel channel, I was like, hey, let's start a Real Steel channel. We were going to the range anyway.
mhm.
This is before COVID and all that shit,
Right.
like right before it. Yeah. So we did it's actually, that YouTube channel still up. I think we have just a couple of videos, maybe 5 videos on there or 6 videos on there or something. And it's us at the range trying these different ones. He bought a Judge, the pistol that shoots a
No,
410 and a
I'm not familiar with it.
45 long. So
Oh, no
it's called
shit.
the Judge. It's a pistol. The cylinder is this fucking long because it shoots those shotgun shells that are, the 410 shotgun shells.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
long and skinny, like, about that.
yeah.
And so so anyway, we started this channel, and then not just a few months after, all that shit started happening, and ammo prices. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, time to shut this one down. It was too expensive, man. Oh yeah. It was fun though. It's so much fun. It's so
Oh,
much fun to shoot all these
yeah,
different things, but
yeah,
it's not fun to when you look in your ammo can and it's like almost empty, and you're like,
yeah, yeah,
fuck. And
yeah.
now ammo's like 3 times the price it was, you know?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's why we go airsoft, man. I mean, we get our fix with shooting and stuff like that with just with the BBs. And when I go with my son, he's very, trigger conscious and he has trigger safety and
Yeah.
all that stuff, all the stuff that I didn't learn when I was a kid. You know
Gotcha.
what I mean? I've been around guns my whole life. As far as I can remember, my dad always owned a gun,
Okay.
and I was always around it, but he never taught me how to be safe with it. When I was in the military, that's when I really learned. You know what I mean? I
Gotcha.
went I went to when I went in the military, it was right after high school,
Yep.
and I graduated in May. Went in. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, end of May. No, I'm sorry. What was it? End of June, I
Oh,
think.
like high school? Yeah, yeah.
High
It's
school, right
what,
out of
May
right
or
out.
June? Yeah.
It was in
Hmm.
June. And I left June, July, August. No, no, it was in July when I left because
For
when I
boot camp.
graduated, yeah, boot camp in Great Lakes. I was in the Navy.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
nice.
I graduated boot camp September 10th, 2001. My
Oh
parents,
shit.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah.
What a
So,
shit show, bro. What?
oh, bro, I remember we were in our final class. We were learning I think we were learning finance or just how to take care of our money or some shit like
Right. Right, right.
and we were supposed to fly out the next day, and my parents are flying out because they just saw me graduate,
Yeah.
and somebody walks into the room, and then my instructor tells us, we're locking down, everybody go back to the barracks. So we're walking back, and we're trying to figure out, and he calls out, anybody that lives or is from New York or has family in New York, come with me, we're gonna go make some phone calls. So everybody leaves, and we haven't really got an idea of what's going on.
Gotcha.
Everybody's trying to contemplate. We're trying to, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And then they finally tell us the towers in New York got hit, and we're like, what the fuck you mean? And
Yeah.
so this whole time, I, when I went into the recruiting office, I told them, or especially when I went to MEPS, I told them I want a job where I ain't gotta really do shit. I just want to chill. You know what I mean? So they were like, "Oh, how about dental technician?" I'm like, "Perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfect. I'm in the office, AC. I ain't gotta worry about nothing." He told me, and this was verbatim. My recruiter told me, "And you're non-combatant. You won't be non-combatant. You will be non-combatant." I was like, "What? That's solid, bro. Fuck yeah." I didn't look it up, you know what I mean? I
Fucking
just
lies, baby.
100%. So after that, we get to A school. First day in A school. This is in Shepherd Air Force Base in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Okay.
I think no, it's not our first day. We're almost done with A school. He comes and tells us, if anybody told you that you're not combatant, they fucking lied to you. Because 90% of you guys are going to FMF. And I'm like, what the
Mm.
fuck is FMF? They're like Field Marine Force Training. You guys are going to go to fucking San Diego. You're going to go to Coronado, or not a Coronado, Camp Pendleton. You're going to train there for 5-6 weeks with the Marines, and you're going to figure it out.
Holy
Man,
shit.
this is fucking crazy. So
Yeah.
I call my mom. I'm like, man, this is fucking me. You need to talk to this fucking recruiter because this fucker lied to me. He fucking lied to me. Straight up.
So where did they send you at Pendleton? Was it like around Del Mar? Because there's only a
It was by, it
few.
was by Oceanside.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because
right?
that's where my last duty station was out there at Edson Range,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
had a training beach right across from our barracks. That's what we used
Hmm.
was Red Beach or whatever. It's down a little bit from the main gate,
Yeah,
right across from I-5.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
They did a
Oh
lot of
man.
training stuff over there, right?
Oh man, that training was intense. It was nothing like Navy boot. Navy boot camp was a fucking breeze compared to
Yeah.
that 5 weeks, 6 weeks. You know what I mean? Because the last real test is the 16-mile ruck. I mean,
Hmm.
we have to pack our fucking sea bags full of everything you fucking
Dude.
own. You know what I mean? And it's 8 miles up, 8 miles back. If you don't make it, you got to do the whole fucking cycle again. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
Dude.
I'm gonna make this shit. Fuck
I'm going to
that.
tell you right now, I thought my feet would be hurting worse, but you know what really got most of us were our fucking helmets and our backpack, the rucksacks, like the
Yeah,
backpacks
yeah,
that
yeah,
cutting into your shoulders.
yeah, yeah.
Holy
100%. That shit
shit.
fucked me up. I felt that
Oh
fucked my
my
whole back up.
God, it
I was
hurts
not
so
prepared.
bad.
I was not physically prepared for that. I was
Yeah,
not physically prepared for that. I mean, the running part or whatever the
right.
walk was fine. You know what I mean? We ran every day. It
Uh-huh.
was 4 to 6 miles we were running every day, which was no
Yeah.
problem. But that it was the hiking with the fucking sea bag, which is fucked. It fucked me up. I mean, I mean, we had every piece of gear on. Everything, and we had
Yeah.
we had to carry our fucking our dummy M16s or whatever the hell we were carrying at the time.
Uh-huh.
And these ass down fucking nobody was using anymore M16s and shit. And we would, and every training interval that we had, like we couldn't leave our weapon alone by itself. I
Right.
remember if you got caught without it, and one of the drill instructors got it, oh, you were gonna get beat.
For
And we got
sure.
beaten. I mean, there was just, I mean, because we had a bunch of Navy personnel that were not just fresh out of boot camp. You had HM1s. You had some chiefs. You had some motherfuckers that had been in a while, so they got comfortable with that Navy
Oh,
lifestyle, where they
right.
were just on a ship. They didn't really have to do shit like that physicality shit, where
Yeah, that's true.
and just attention to detail that way.
Uh-huh.
And so, I mean, me straight out of boot camp, I was still on it. You know what I mean? I was still on it.
Right.
I was still like, fuck,
Uh-huh.
I gotta tuck these corners and make sure my bed is fucking nice, and you know what I
Hmm.
mean. So I was still on it, man. But it was these HM3s, these petty officers that were just fucking up, man.
Oh yeah.
They would fuck us up, and we'd get beat because of them. And I'm like,
Because
damn,
of them.
fuck, dude, because
Oh
of them.
yeah, for sure.
Because they got lazy. They got lazy. They got
Yeah.
complacent on the ship and just did not give a fuck, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Now, how
and they
was
thought,
it going? Like, okay, so you graduate. The next day, this fucking shit happens. I
hmm
mean, that had to be pretty insane. What did you
yeah,
guys, so what did they do with you guys as far as, because I had been out, I got out in 93, so late 93.
hmm
So, even my 10-year or my 8-year inactive reserves
yeah,
was
yeah.
was over like a few months, like I think July of 2001. So before
Uh-huh,
that even happened.
uh-huh.
And so I didn't really have any friends that were, uh, you know, in active duty at the time that when that happened. So yeah, how was that?
It was pretty intense, man. So after boot camp, we couldn't fly, obviously, so we had to take a Greyhound from Chicago all the way to Texas, which
Mm,
was, I think it was like 2 days, 2.5 days, almost three,
holy
on a fucking
shit.
bus. Yeah. So after that, I mean, after that it was just training after training after training. So after A school, it was just training, nonstop training for the next 2 years. I
Yeah.
went to Okinawa. That's where I was stationed. That's where I did my sea duty, my green side in Okinawa.
Oh, nice. Hey, put your mic a little bit closer again. Yeah, there you go.
Better.
Yeah, way better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Okay.
huge difference. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't tell earlier. It was a little bit like a slight difference,
Uh-huh,
but yeah, well, now I could tell when you put your hand up there and it kind of aimed it towards the mic. I could
uh-huh.
tell a big difference. Yeah, yeah, it's perfect,
Okay.
dude. But yeah, you
So,
went to Okie, so
yeah, yeah.
that's right. Yeah, I spent a year over there. Hmm.
I had a fucking blast out there, man. It was a fucking good ass time.
Oh
And
yeah,
I remember the podcast I was listening to you with Newsom, the
yeah, yeah,
musician. Yeah,
yeah.
you guys were talking about all the drugs and shit like that. I was like, I did
I
all
was
these
just gonna say.
I did all these drugs in fucking Okinawa, man.
Yeah, bro, for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, my first couple weeks, because I was so young, I was like 8. I turned 19 there. It was my birthday when I got there. I turned 19, so I was still, I looked, I looked like a dependent. I mean, I wore earrings and shit when I was off duty. I mean, I had all these civilian clothes. I looked like a fucking baby.
Oh,
So they
shit.
sent me, all the other, like the guys that had been there for a couple of years, they sent me to go buy shrooms.
Oh, nice.
They sent me to go buy the shrooms. So we bought the shrooms. I remember buying some orange juice out of a vending machine. It was like a orange juice flavored soju or whatever the fuck it was. Haichu.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And we sat by the seawall, and I remember taking the shrooms, and we're sitting underneath this windmill. I don't remember what part of Okinawa it was, but it was. I remember
the seawall was fucking great, man. Okay.
Oh, man, it was awesome. And against the windmill was like this purplish greenish light. And I remember this is my first time doing it, so I was fucking on one. I was on one, bro. I turned around and I saw this windmill, and it just looked bigger than life. And then something just hit me. I was like, oh, so this is. I felt like I just hit a new realm, like a whole new world where I felt like this is where everybody is supposed to be. We're supposed to be feeling this. This high right here is where everybody's supposed to be. But after a while, like it went. I was around some good people, so they kind of took care of me. But
right.
I mean, it was pretty intense. I mean, from doing that to Robitussin, me and my buddy, we call it tussin. We were doing tussin. Didn't really smoke too much weed in Okie. I did, but I mean, it was that part scared me because I knew the piss test was gonna come, and but Okie was one hell of a time, man. I had a blast out there. I tell my lady all the time I want to go back to Okinawa, even just Japan. I want to go out there, play some airsoft out there, take the kids, but I had a fucking awesome time out there. But I mean, that aside from just the drugs, it was nonstop training because of 9/11. Nonstop training.
Oh, I bet.
Like every month we had some sort of training that we're going out in the field for a week or two and just training, getting ready. And then just getting all the Marines, medically cleared, as far as the dental fit goes. We were knocking them out left and right so they could get ready.
Now, which base did you work on? Foster?
I was on Foster, Kinzer, Cav Schwab.
Oh shit! All the way up north, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was on Schwab for the longest. I loved it up there. I mean, I loved Schwab. It was far from everybody.
Friends up there. We went up there.
I was on Foster and I got in trouble, so they sent me up to Schwab. They sent me up to Schwab.
Fuck you, bitch. We're gonna send you up to the by the NTA or whatever. Yeah.
They sent my ass up there, and I remember being out there and just honing in and just focusing and just getting my shit right. Gotcha. Out there, I got all my shit together out there. Because when I got to Camp Foster, I was around a bunch of fucking, guys that have been there for a while. So they knew how to get the ins and outs. They knew the ins and outs of everything, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I knew when we could leave base and where to get fucked up, where we could buy beer. And I was always underage, I turned 21 out there, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But up until I turned 21, those first 2 years, like I was doing shit that I shouldn't have been doing. You know what I mean? The way I look at my military, my military time was that those were my college years. Those were my college years, 100%. Right. Because I left right after high school, and I learned so much about myself, about other people, how to be more social, and just opened up to so many other people, and just different walks of life, and you know what I mean. I learned so much.
Now let me ask you this: were you when you were raised, were you raised with like kind of a strong religious upbringing, or did you guys go to church, or?
Yeah. Okay. Both my parents, we were Catholic growing up.
Same.
Every Sunday, but I didn't understand it. I was sitting there,
Sure.
That little thing that they would do, you kneel on.
You kneel on it, yeah.
Yeah. That was a bench to me. I was facing the other way, sitting the other way. You know what I mean? It was a bench.
How dare you, bro? You're going to hell.
I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, we grew up very Catholic.
Okay.
Very, very. I went to, not a Catholic school, but it was I went to catechism. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
right.
where where
Hmm.
you did your first
Make your
communion, all that
first
stuff. Yeah,
communion,
yeah,
confirmation, and
yeah. I never
so
got as far as the confirmation, but
my mom was really she was really afraid for me when she found out I was going to Okinawa because she said it's Japan is a non-Christian nation,
Mhm.
and she was so afraid that I was going to get like possessed or something. No shit. It was oh yeah, it was like you got to really be on guard, honey. It's spiritually on guard,
Mhm.
And I get out
Not
there
my.
and I'm like, so this is kind of the idea that, I didn't know what to expect. There's no internet. I didn't see, a whole lot of,
Right,
I mean,
right.
I grew up watching World War II movies with my dad.
Mhm.
And, so I didn't know really anything about, Asian culture and shit. So I'm like, okay, so, my mom's telling me all this shit and I'm like, oh my God. Okay. I gotta pray. I gotta pray all the time so I don't get possessed or something. And, I get out there and I'm like, dude, these people are so fucking nice and peaceful and like respectful and
Yeah,
all this
yeah,
shit. And
yeah.
I was just like, I never had a bad vibe the whole time I
No,
was there.
not
Um,
once.
I'm sure
Oh,
like
the
mushrooms
only time.
helped. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
anyway, I still didn't have a bad vibe. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
no, no bad vibes out there,
it's
man.
good
It's
to
all
go,
positive out
bro.
there. The only time I had bad vibes is when we were getting drunk and we were around a bunch of Marines. That's when I knew
Oh,
something was
yeah.
gonna pop off, man.
Oh,
That's the only time
all
I
the
knew
time.
yeah, every time. My buddy he had a bottle busted in his face
Oh, I'm sure.
by a Marine just because I think he was trying to protect one of the girls that was kicking it with us. She was independent. She went out and wanted to party with us, and
Gotcha.
I guess she was getting talked to by a Marine that she didn't want to be talked to. So my buddy went
Right.
over there and was trying to hey man, just chill out, right in the face. And I'm trying to play media like, yo, we're on the same team, bro. I don't know what the fuck we're
Yeah.
fighting for. You know what I'm saying? We don't
Oh,
need
it
to
doesn't
do
even
this.
matter.
No,
We
he
fought with
did.
each other.
No. Yeah,
We
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
fought. I'm gonna tell you how many times, bro. It was like really common, at least 3 or 4 times that me and my group of friends, ended up with like one of our buddies runs his fucking mouth to somebody else, either Army guy or Navy guy, in a bar, and then they start fighting in the midst of us trying to separate them. Right? Those guys are pulling his buddy off. We're pulling our buddy off. Our own guy starts fighting with us because he's pissed off that we pulled him off. And then we end up fighting with each other. Like, I'm talking throwing punches and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Jesus, bro, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
man. That was it. Those were the only fights we ever got. We never got to fight with any locals, man. The locals are so
Yeah,
nice
no,
out
no,
there, man.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got
Well, we
when you're
always
in the
got these
barracks,
stories too, like don't fuck around out in town, with
right?
fighting and stuff because those JPs will fuck you up, and if you
Yep.
get stuck in jail, we don't know if we can get you
Uh-huh.
out. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. I'm
hell
not playing
no,
that game.
nope.
Uh-uh. Yeah, my overall experience out there was I mean, I just had an absolute fucking great time. I think
Yeah.
about it all the time. I think about Okinawa all the time, and I do miss it. That part of the military I did miss because after that I went to Coronado Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, out there it was just so relaxed. It was
Yeah.
so Navy. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
so Navy. It was way different
Now,
from
Coronado, were you at what's over there? The
North Island.
Balboa
Let's say again.
Balboa Hospital. Were you
Balboa. No,
around
no,
that?
no, no, no. I was on North Island, so I
Okay.
don't even
Okay.
remember the name of the
Well, no,
clinic
this
that
it's
I went.
Coronado Island. Yeah, yeah. That's what we called it too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but out there it was a different experience, living in
Right.
San Diego. But I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to go back to Cali after Okinawa. I either wanted to stay or go to fucking Naples, Italy, or the two
Oh,
other places that I wanted to go to. I either
nice.
wanted to stay there or Germany. But they
Okay. Yeah,
they didn't
yeah.
want to send me anywhere like that. They were like, nah, you need to go back. Yeah, we're gonna send you back to Blue Side, and you go and chill with the
Yeah.
with the almost retirees and shit.
Uh,
I mean, which was pretty cool, man. But it was so
yeah.
chill, man. We didn't really do anything. PT was fucking. Now I got so fat out there, like, I mean, I was still passing, the qualifications for PT and shit like
Sure.
that. But I mean, it was just they built a fucking McDonald's right next to the clinic.
Oh shit.
PT was like, if you guys want to play catch football or whatever, that's cool. I was like, oh man, this is fucking. What the fuck are we doing, man? To come from Greenside, Okinawa, fucking with Marines on a Marine Corps base, to that was it blew my mind. I was like, this is the real Navy, I guess.
Yeah, is that wild?
Yeah, it was a completely different atmosphere. It was a whole different different vibe.
I know. My daughter went into the Air Force, spent 4 years in the Air Force, and just talking with her. Of course, we were there for her graduation from boot camp and everything, and then just seeing the barracks that she was in for boot camp, and then like the quality of it was, I was like, holy shit, this is nice.
Top tier.
And just talking with her over the years, and of course we visited her. She got stationed at Mississippi, and I'm in South Carolina, so it's not that far. So we went down and visited her a couple times and stuff. Just seeing and talking with her, like it's really like a 9 to 5. It's really laid back. The PT was very minimal. Their qualification stuff. I mean, they focused more on. She had to take tests like focus on your education part as opposed to the physical part. So it was complete opposite of what me and my friends did with being a bunch of fucking meatheads and the hey, who can punch this brick wall harder, okay? This episode is sponsored by Skirmish, the future of airsoft gameplay management. Are you ready to take airsoft to the next level? Skirmish's innovative gameplay solution keeps players and spectators engaged with real-time updates. Capture objectives, detonate targets, medic, and more at Skirmish-enabled fields. Skirmish tracks every action so you don't have to. Review past games, action by action, and follow your progress in national rankings. Phones are not required. If you want to find out more, head to skirmish.net and check out episode 157 of this podcast, where I talk with the owner of Skirmish about how it started and how it works. Stay connected, my friends. This episode is also sponsored by JefesAirsoftSolutions.com. Are you looking for a company that puts the community first? Look no further than Jefes Airsoft Solutions. Their founding principle is to offer a way for players of all types to get the greatest experience possible. Their passion is to make a difference in the airsoft community and serve each of their customers with the utmost respect. Be part of the conversation by joining hundreds of fellow airsofters in their Discord server. Here you can find out about upcoming events, sales, giveaways, and more. Don't wait any longer. Join today and start enjoying all that Jefes Airsoft Solutions has to offer. Together, we can make a difference in the community. Use the code TRIFECTA10 and save 10% on your next purchase at JefesAirsoftSolutions.com. Some exclusions apply.
The Air Force base that I went for A school, when I went to go eat there for breakfast, it was like a buffet, man. And then they told me that you just leave your tray there. You leave your tray there, and then they come and pick that shit up. I was like, really?
We were shocked.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is different.
We got to Kadena, we flew into Kadena in Okinawa. So we we go to receiving at Foster, Butler, or whatever, and then all the guys that had been there like a bunch of months or whatever already, they were like, oh yeah, as soon as you get settled over here, we're going to take you to Kadena Air Base Chow Hall. And you're going to see the difference. And we go in there. It was fucking crazy, bro. It was so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Air Force got it different, man. Air Force definitely got it different.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
I would never, I don't want to ever push my children into military lifestyle if they don't want to. But if they do, I'm going to go ahead and guide them towards the Air Force if they so choose. My parents, I didn't get a choice. They were like, because my brother went first.
Okay.
And we're all kind of like we're a little. I wouldn't say we're fuck ups that bad, but I mean we're fucking up a little bit. You know what I mean? So it was my dad told me, like, as opposed to your mom and dad, your mom telling you watch out when you go to Okinawa and stuff like that. My dad told me, you either go to the military or you get the fuck out. So I was like, okay, well, I mean that's my ultimatum. Either way I'm getting out. So I guess I'll go to the Navy because I wanted to follow in my brother's footsteps because he went first.
Okay.
He went first.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, what did he do?
He was an airman.
Oh, okay.
On a carrier. Yeah. So those guys with the fucking flashlight.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Guys.
Okay. I mean, it's
Got
probably
bad hearing and shit.
him, but we're right. Don't they? I think they wear like the double ear protection and shit. Like it's.
I think they do. Hey, they might not have back when he was in.
Right.
I think when did he graduate high school? Like 95, 95.
Okay.
95 or 96. 96 is when he went in.
Gotcha.
And I think he got out in 99.
Okay.
So his was only 3 years. And so when I went in, I thought my shit was going to be exactly the same. I didn't know that every MOS had a different, contract.
Right.
Where, my shit was 5 years plus 3 years reserve and shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm going to do 3 years, get out, fucking use this MGI bill and fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go back to fucking around with my homies and shit.
Hell yeah. I had complete opposite plans. My life was planned out in my head. It was 30 years in the Corps. That's all I wanted to do. No other plans, no backup plan, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Eastwood on Heartbreak Ridge, that's me. Okay. I don't give a fuck. All right. And send me wherever. And then, my girlfriend and I, who, we're married now, we started dating, and after the 4 months that we spent together before I went to boot camp, it started changing my mind a little bit, but then I didn't really, I was like, okay, because she went to college and I went to boot camp. So, we were like, okay, let's have we're not going to, it's unrealistic to sit here and go, hey, we're 19 years old. We're not going to be faithful. Like, let's just keep it open. Mm-hmm. If we, I come back on leave, if we want to hang out, we hang out. And we ended up doing that, and that's what we did. But it was, from the time, within a year's time of me going in the military, it was like, my whole life plan changed. I was like all into, okay, I want to get married. I want to have kids at a young age. Like that was the thing. So I ended up going from that plan of, nobody and nothing, just the Marine Corps, to getting married, having 5 kids, and then that was kind of my calling in life. Like I really enjoyed being a dad, I mean, I'm still a dad, but it's, my kids are all grown, but that was huge change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before I went to the military, I really didn't have any intentions of joining the military. My mom kind of tricked me into it. She told me,
shit.
This is my junior year. My junior year? I think it's my junior year. Yeah, my junior year in high school. She tells me, just, take the ASVAB, see how you do. I'll take you to the recruiting office. If you do that, I'll buy you new clothes for your senior year of high school. I'm like,
nice.
Got it. You got it, Mom. You got it. Hell yeah, I'll do that. And, fucking senior year comes around, I'm getting calls from, the recruiting office, and they're telling me, yo, why don't you come in? We're going to take you in to MEVS and do all this testing and stuff. My mom's like, just take your time and check it out, see if you like it, and see what kind of job you can get, and just have it as a backup option. Because what I wanted to do, I wanted to make music. I wanted to make music.
Shit.
I wanted to sing. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah. So when I got out of the military, that's what I used my NGI bill for. I went to the Musicians Institute in Hollywood, and I went out there for 2 years, and I did that for 2 years, and just started making music. But
so what do you learn there? Like, how does that? So you wanted to sing, but do they teach you how to? Is it like a singing class? What is it like? I have no idea what this is. I've never heard of this.
Everything. At Musicians Institute, they focus on almost every aspect of musicianship that you learn. If you're a guitarist, if you're a drummer, if you're a singer, a vocalist, if you're an independent artist wanting to learn how to promote yourself as an artist, they got programs for that. They got programs for audio engineering. So I took my first program that I signed up for was the vocal program, which was an associate's degree. So if you graduate from that, you can go into like teaching kids how to sing, and you got a degree in it, so you can take it to a college or a high school or whatever and teach kids how to sing and do music that way. So I did the vocal program first. I dropped out of that because I wouldn't say it's primarily because of my roommates. I lived with 4 other people. We were living in a 2-bedroom apartment in Hollywood, which was like at the time, 2008, it was like 1,800 between us. And a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 people. And then we added a roommate. One of my roommates met a girl. He ended up living with her. And then my buddy in the military, he was getting out of the military. So his wife and his daughter ended up moving in with us so they can move to LA. So they stayed with us for it was like maybe 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So at one point in time, it was 9 people and a dog. a pit bull
Holy shit!
and his 2-bedroom apartment. So focus was never really there. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Our plan was all the people that I went there were super talented. You know, I had producers that made music. I got a guy that just had a crazy work ethic who now makes music videos for some big name artists. He shot our video, as a matter of fact, that I shot years back, probably like maybe 10 years now. How long has it been? Probably close to 10 years when we shot that video. But he does that now. My other buddy that went with us, he actually joined the Navy a couple years later, and they just couldn't come up with rent, so we got evicted out of that apartment. So during that whole entire time during that program that I was in, I was trying to figure out where the fuck I'm gonna sleep, where the fuck am I gonna stay, you know what I mean?
Right.
So my buddy from the Navy that I had met in Coronado, he was like, come live with me. I live in Sherman Oaks. Come live with me. You fucking stay with me, and fucking, you know, he can go back and do whatever you do at MI. So yeah. I signed up for another program. I signed up for the audio engineering program, graduated that program, nice. Then took another program and did the independent artist program. So where I can learn how to promote and, you know, how to, you know, where as far as where's music going now, because it went from making CDs to now this whole digital platform where nobody's selling CDs anymore.
Right.
You know, so that was that whole program. I did that, you know, for 2 years, and we did that strong. After I graduated that, I went to the Philippines for a couple months and toured out there, did music out there. My family, who is from the Philippines, I have cousins that still live out there. They linked me up with a couple of producers and DJs that do music out there, and I linked up with them. They booked me at a bunch of, you know, venues and shit, and I did that for 2 months. I came back and just did music in California and did that, and, you know, did a whole album. We did big shows and shit. It was a good time. My music career was pretty good, man. I mean, I didn't make huge amounts of money, but I mean, my experience as far as music and what I wanted to get from it, I got
really
it.
Broad.
I got it all. I got it all.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no clue. See, this is what I love about when I talk with people on here. That this is one of the things. These are kind of the unforeseen bonus content that for me personally, when I set up the calendar, the booking feature on my website, when I set that up, now I'm getting over the last couple months, I'm getting all these people that I don't have a rapport with. I've not talked with. I don't know hardly anything about them. And I just see these things pop up, you know, where I can approve the booking thing. And then I get on here, and sometimes, and because this has happened so many times recently, where I'm so surprised about somebody's background, and it's like so broad and rich, and they've got all these different things that I had no clue about. I stopped kind of stalking people's like Instagram so much, because now I'm surprised. I'm like, I want to be surprised. I want to hear what they got going on that I didn't know about. You know what I mean? That's fucking cool. Yeah, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it was music. It was music that I was initially wanting to do out of high school. I mean, I sang in high school. I did choir for 2 years, and we had a small little group that we sang together, you know, regularly. And I was like, yeah, I love this. I love this shit. I always watched my dad, you know, sing and perform. He could play drums, he could play guitar, and I grew up watching him sing in front of people, and I was like, I want to do that. I love watching that reaction from people, like giving them applause for after he sang. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like Dad, you know what I mean? I wanted to sing like Dad.
Now, what did he? What kind of music? Like, what did he sing?
My dad sang anything from like Frank Sinatra to George Benson to Ray Charles.
Shit,
Tower of Power.
I love Sinatra. Okay.
I mean, he listened to a lot of like those crooners, Beatles, a lot of Beatles stuff. So that's what I grew up listening to. But I grew up listening to that, and then, you know, what I made was R&B and hip hop music. Gotcha. I made R&B and hip hop. I started off just primarily singing. and then I got into writing, which I still love. I loved the writing aspect of
Really?
making music. That was my shit. That was my favorite thing to
Are
do.
you good like poetry and all that where that stuff kind of
Yeah. I'm not
okay,
not
okay.
not too shabby with the poetry. I didn't write it too much, but as far as when I got into like I took a creative writing class at a community college, and
Okay.
I remember just loving that just freedom of
Really?
just creating this a story, just creating a
Uh-huh.
story, and that shit like that really made me want to do more music.
Right.
That shit I could do that all day, and then practicing it, getting the cadence down. I remember when would write my music on the side of my notebook, I would have timestamps of this is what I need to practice. So I'd sit in the garage for hours and just practice that same line over and over and over and over and
Hmm.
over and over and over and just nonstop. Just did a OCD with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would go over and over and nonstop until I would get it perfect. And that's how I got into writing hip hop, rap.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
all the people that I went to MI with were all primarily rappers. They made hip hop music, and I was basically the guy that would write the hooks. I would write the R&B portion of the song. I would sing their hooks and the choruses, maybe the bridge or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was primarily my job, was to
Okay.
write the R&B hooks for their hip hop tracks. But then I was like, I don't want to just do that. I want to make my own music. So I started writing
Mm.
my own full music length R&B tracks. And then I was like, let me try and dabble into this hip hop. Let me see if I can do it. So I tried it a couple of times, and I was like,
Okay.
to me, it didn't sound too bad. So I played it for a couple of my guys. They were like, it's not too bad, dude. So then I got into rapping a little bit. And that's how I got into doing hip hop. And then I just commingled both. So the group that I was in, it's called Common Grounds. Um, but it was myself and two of my hometown buddies that I pretty much grew up with. Not since little kids, but yeah, we're from the same city. You know, everybody knows everybody from my little town, and my parents know their parents. You know, my dad knew one of my group members' parents from way back in the day, and I didn't even know for the longest time. I was like, oh, I know your dad. You know, I know your uncle. Like I know them, so we
Yeah.
started making music together, and we did. There was three of us, and it was primarily all hip hop and R&B. And how it would start, I wrote a whole album, and it was, I believe, like it ended up cutting down to like 13 tracks, and
Yeah.
it was. I mean, I probably wrote 30 or 40 different tracks, all in the span of that, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so, trying to get this music down. And
Hmm.
it was just I would listen to the beat. I remember we'd have writing sessions. I would listen to the beat, and I would get an idea, or I would look in my notebook, find something that I had jotted down years back, or a couple months ago, or last week, and I'm like, okay, let's go off of that. And then
Right.
I would listen to the beat, try to find the melody, and I would, sing the melody out, and then I would put the words and lyrics to it.
Yeah.
And wrote that whole thing, produced it, we sent it out, got the CDs pressed, and after that, we started getting booked for some big shows. There's a show locally in our area. It's a big 420 show. It's like all the stoners go to, and big
Yeah.
name artists go and perform there. I don't know if they still do it, but they did it almost every year for probably 5 years before we got on. And
Okay.
I knew if we could get on that, it would be a huge boost in like
Right.
just a flood of like not just people that could follow us and stuff like that, but I
Right.
mean it would just it would definitely boost us up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So we got booked for that 2 years straight, um, and it was one hell of an experience. I mean, there was over probably 4 or 5 thousand people there
Oh, that's
performing
wild.
on the main stage. Like if you go on my Instagram page, you'll see me and my buddy. We're just standing in the back of the stage, just getting ready, man. I'm in a Dodgers jersey, just warming up, just listen to the track, getting warmed up, and you walk out, man, it's just a sea of people. It was crazy, man. It was insane. I couldn't believe it. It was so cool. It was so dope, man. It was good times, man. Like my music time was so fun. And then I had my kids.
Right.
after I had my kids, both my crew members, they had their kids, and we all had kids before, but I mean, we all started having family, you know,
Right.
and that's kind of where
Less and less
I was
time
like,
to
yeah,
do the.
less and less time. And I already had a daughter when I started music. I had
Okay.
I had my 16-year-old at the time.
Yeah.
And when I left for the Philippines, that was very difficult for me because I was gone
Sure.
for a long time. Even when I moved to LA, she was still living in my hometown, which was about 2 hours away. I would come visit her, or she'd come visit me. She would stay with my mom and her mom. And just that time away from her, I knew it was a huge sacrifice. But I knew if I could sacrifice this amount of time, I could get us somewhere. So she was my motivation at that time to make music. I had to make it. I had to fucking make it. I'm not gonna waste this fucking time. I have to fucking make it. But yeah, just after I added another one, it was like I don't know if I can sacrifice this much time again. It was too hard.
Are you still do you still dabble in the music, or what?
Occasionally, yeah. I got friends that are still in the music business still to this day, and they reach out to me on occasion. The writing aspect of it, I could probably still do. I could probably still write a track. In fact, I know I could still write a track. I just, I don't know. I don't have that same flame for it. The passion for it isn't the same. That motivation that I had. But when I would look at my daughter's eyes and stare in her eyes, and I knew that I had something to work for. I had to make it worth it, you know.
Yeah.
But now it's like it doesn't have that same. I don't have that same desire for the music as I used to. I mean, it used to be a huge part of my life. It was every day. It was. I'd wake up in the morning. I'd get up at 4 o'clock, go to the gym. After the gym, about 6 or 7 o'clock, straight to making music all day, nonstop.
Oh man,
nonstop. And
yeah, what a time! What a time! That was
a good time.
Yeah, man. That's
I'll play you.
Dude,
I'll play you a track later.
I was gonna say, is there somewhere we can, pull it up and I can, we can listen to it or whatever? Because, dude, there's so many people. There's a good handful of people I've had on here that are have been in the music industry, and they, you would definitely relate to a lot of them. Well, you said you listened to the Newsom podcast. He does that. He still writes and shit like that. And their band, his band actually ended up playing at the Whiskey a Go Go.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, dude. And it was like a fluke.
Music is it's a lifestyle, man, and when it really grasps you, it's something that like I can't really explain unless you do it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of musicians can relate. And when you meet a peer that does music, and they, sometimes they approach you like, yeah, I make music and stuff like that. But then when they really get really explain themselves to me and tell me what they've actually done or where they're going with their music, I can relate to that. And there's something about music that I no longer have a passion for, but I still love. I still love it. So this is the track right here. So it's 9 years ago.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah. 1990 shit. Let's go. My time is coming. This is for the people told me no when everybody admit along the road. My time is coming for my family and everyone behind me. When they hear this, they gotta sign me. My time is coming. Another song, sitting on a different toilet, contemplating choices, but the same shit is going on. What am I to do? Fuck it, write another bar or two. Finish up the song, tell them you'll be home very soon. Daughter in bed, still waiting to get tucked in. Baby mama texting me, said the funds ain't come in. Asking me, yo, let me know when you gon' blow. Oh wait, you wait, no, I go when I say so just lay low, say no more, let me go, just let me flow and watch your boy turn gold. From nothing to something, I stop fronting like the money don't matter, but it'd be cool if I was bumping through your stereo. Every time you turned your car radio, you could hear my voice so butter, yeah, I'm on the road. Somebody better let them know I'm so ready, yo. Yo, you ready? So my time's coming. This is for the people told me no, and everybody admit along the road. You know my time is coming for my family and everyone behind me. When they hear this, they gotta sign me. My time is coming. This is for the people told me no, and everybody admit along the road. You know my time is coming for my family and everyone behind me. When they hear this, they gotta sign me.
It's been a long while, feeling like the dark child, writing on the wall, and still my name was getting crossed out. You can't be this, you can never be that. The best to ever do what? Well, you can never be rap. I see the words they motivate, and motivation is words. Picture us going all the way off of these nouns and verbs, making hip hop history, touching, reaching you spiritually, feeling like family full of peace and serenity. It's what it's about, in case they forgot. Instead they pray up on your downfall, they scheme and they plot. These backstabbers want your spot, they fiend for the jackpot. It's a dirty mission up with an even worse drop. So I stay fly, hover over bullshit, swing strong at the plate, face the whole bullpen. I said I'm going in the whole 110. When they told me it's the end, no, it just began.
My time is coming. This is for the people told me no, and everybody admit along the road. You know my time is coming for my family and everyone behind me. When they hear this, they gotta sign me. My time is coming. This is for the people told me no, and everybody admit along the road. You know my time is coming for my family and everyone behind me. When they hear this, they gotta sign me.
Said it's a calm day, I'm feeling good, everything is alright. It's been a long road, but I enjoyed taking that ride. That's no lie, we kept it going, full speed, stayed in motion. Still hold it down, small city by the ocean. So you already know, ain't nothing given for free. We hustle hard, gotta get it, put our life on these beats. It's more than music to me, so my ambitions and dreams, it's contributions to the youth and taking care of my peeps. Trying to get my moms right, show her what that CL like. Pursuing my passion, I come alive in that limelight. Be ready, yeah, like some seniors at prom night. You'll never see us stop, in this life there's no red lights. We rip mics, rock shows, spread our sound around the globe. This music thing, it's the only thing that we know. It's been a long time coming, let me tell you, bro. Good luck stopping us now, too far been on.
My time is coming. This is for the people told me no, and everybody admit along the road. You know my time is coming for my family and everyone behind me. When they hear this, they gotta sign me. My time is coming. This is for the people told me no, and everybody admit along the road. You know my time is coming for my family and everyone behind me. When they hear this, they gotta sign me. My time is coming. You know.
Dude, that is so good.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, that is so good, bro. For real.
Yeah, that was good times, man.
Okay. Yeah, I love that, bro. Very, very cool. Yeah, I love when I talk with these artists like that you know, they have their own music and stuff, and we play it on here. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
song, dude. Now,
I was hungry, man.
yeah, man. So the image at the end, was that the album cover?
Yeah, that was the album
CD
cover.
cover?
That was done by my buddy who let me move in with him. Again, he former Navy too. He was from Fresno, California. I remember meeting him, and we just hit it off. It was just so much. We just shared so much, you know, in common as far as interests and you know our lifestyles that we lived back in California, where we used to, you know, grow up and you know, I still talk to him to this day. I met him in the Navy and still talk to him to this day.
Yeah.
Probably one of my best friends, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
honestly,
that's
I got a handful of friends. I got a handful of real good friends that I talk
Yeah.
to. You know, I've made tons of acquaintances, but you know, my best friends are the ones that I can tell bad news to. That's how I know I got good people, when I can tell them bad news. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a buddy like that. He actually lives like 10 minutes away. And we were in the Marine Corps together. So we've known each
Wow.
other 30 years, you know. And so yeah, that I know. I know. Yeah, man. But yeah, it's the same way. It's you know, he actually met my wife when I had her come out to visit. She was my girlfriend at the time. I had just come back from overseas, only been back a couple months, had her come out to California. You know, her and I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. So she was going to Kent State University in Ohio. I flew her out there, or had her fly out there, and then to Camp Pendleton. And we rented a hotel room, you know, a little motel room, whatever, off base, just outside of Pendleton, you know, in Oceanside. And then she stayed for, I don't know, almost a week. Well, my buddy Mike, who I live close with, you know, is close with now, he met her back then, and you know, her and I are still married. And so he knows she hated him the first time because I went to go to the bathroom or something, and they were sitting in the little motel room, and so we're getting ready to go out. So I come out, and Jen's like looking all weird, like awkward and shit, and which she's not. She's very, you know, pretty social. And I was like, what the fuck? So we go to leave, and we drove separate. So she's telling me, I don't like him. He was telling me, he said this and he said that, like all this shit about, you know, you guys aren't going to last. It's just infatuation. You know, Eric's sleeping with somebody different every weekend. And I'm like, well, geez, bro. So, but I was the first one. Yeah, I was the first one in our group to talk about getting married. So,
Oh, really?
you know, the guys I was stationed with, yeah.
Yeah.
So now our sergeant and staff sergeant, those guys were, you know, they were married. You know, some of those guys were married. But as far as our core group of lance corporals and, you know, E3s and below, we were. I was the first one to talk about it, and they're like, "What the fuck, man? You're throwing your life away. You know, and all this other shit. Like, you're gonna break up the group, you know, because we had that core party group, and then." So he was all like, yeah, I just helped you out, man. I just told her the truth so you didn't have to later. You know, I'm like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I mean, we're good friends, you know, so my wife's known him almost as long as I've known him, you know, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. It's good to have a lifelong friend like that, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, I only have a handful of them. I have a handful of people that I talk to on a regular basis, and I love those guys. Those are my brothers. I consider them my brothers. Even the ones that I'm not super close with, I still keep in touch with through social media that I met in Okinawa. Like the bond that we had in Okinawa was tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're a small group of dental technicians that crossed over to HMs, and you know we understood the the gravity of going through FMF and what it meant to be Greenside and what we were doing, what our job detailed, like what it meant. And you know, I still talk to those guys. You know, it was I mean, when you don't go FMF or you're not Greenside or you've never been on a Marine Corps base, it's not that I don't have any respect for you, but I don't think you understand what it means to actually
different.
be. Yeah, it's way different. It's way different.
Right.
100%.
Well, that's like the guys I met, some of the Navy guys I met, Seabees. You know, I worked with some of the Seabees over there in Okinawa, and they were stationed down there by Foster and stuff. And the same way, you know, they were the same. It was very different, you know, different for them. So, but yeah, and then, you know, we went to Operation Team Spirit while we were there, and you know, back in '91, and that was to South Korea, and so we took a boat, you know, Navy ship over there and then back.
Yeah.
That was the only time I was ever on a ship, just those 2 trips.
Oh shit! I've never been on a ship. I never had to go on a ship.
Gotcha.
Never had to be. The Greenside was my you know, that was my sea tour, I guess you could say.
Right. Yeah.
But I fucking loved it, man. I loved that whole experience. Like, yeah, like I was scared in the beginning, like because of 9/11 and all that shit. Matter of fact, like when 9/11 happened, I didn't even see any footage or anything like that until I was probably like 5 years in, almost about to get out, when I finally seen the towers go down.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I didn't see any of it. I didn't. I mean, all I knew was like we just need to be prepared. We need to be ready, and we need to get these Marines ready. And that's all. That was our job. I mean, that's you know. And when I finally saw it, I was like, "Holy shit, this is fucking crazy! I can't believe that fucking happened. That's what happened." When I finally saw it, I was like, "That's what fucking happened." It blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, dude, it's wild.
Fucking insane. But yeah, when I mean,
yeah.
being a boot camp and just hearing that news, and I remember hearing guys, man, we're about to go to war. They were crying. Everybody's crying. A bunch of dudes were scared. They were scared that their parents had passed away, and a couple of guys. I remember this one fella. His last name, I remember him because his last name was Lucas, same as my last name, and his mom worked at the one of the buildings that went down. But she got out. But I mean, I remember talking to him. I remember seeing him in Okinawa years later. I guess his ship landed there, and I remember seeing him at I think it was a Chili's or some shit like that. I was like, fuck, Lucas. He's all Lucas. I was like, fuck, man, good to see you, bro. How you been? I was already. Cool. We were probably like. I was probably almost about to leave Oki, so I was already there for 2 years, and he still remembered me, I still remembered him, and I try to keep in touch with so many of the guys as much as I could, as long as I could, but it was kind of difficult after getting to San Diego and stuff like that, but for the ones that I did keep in touch with, we're still, I still see them post on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm still liking their shit, still saying what's up, how you been, how's your kids, and fucking, I miss it, man. When I met my fiance, I met her 10 years ago. I had contemplations of wanting to go back to the military, just because I was, we were still making music, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I fulfilled what I wanted to do in the military. I got out because I was spiteful. I had an eval that was ready to put me up as a petty officer, and the chief that was going to give me my eval, he moved to a different clinic or to a different office, and I no longer got that same eval, and it just fucked my whole shit up. So I stayed in E3 until I got out, and I was like, well, fuck this. I'm not doing I'm not signing another contract with you guys if I can't fucking move up, man. But I mean, if I made E4, I'd probably still be in today. Yeah, I'd probably still be in today.
Yeah, the wild thing is, I've talked to a couple guys like this, where we had the same kind of feeling, like when while I was in, especially like my last year in, my wife and I were married at the time. We had just gotten married, and re-enlistment, it was probably maybe 6 months or so before I was, before my enlistment was up. And so they start talking to you, you start talking with people that are going through that process, or maybe they're getting out, so they're going through SEPs. And so that whole topic was coming up with me and my wife, and we're like, what do we want to do? We really wanted to start a family young. And so I was like, well, if I re-up for 4 more years, they're probably going to send me overseas. We don't, I don't know. And almost, it's a pretty high percentage that you go to Okinawa again, on your second tour. And so it was just, I was ready to get out. But then, like 5 years after I got out, I missed the shit out of it, bro. I missed it so bad. But when I was ready to get out, I was fucking ready to get out.
Oh, yeah.
Like ready. Okay. I was so like, the last few weeks, especially, it was just almost like shitbird status, because you got that, you're a short timer. You don't give a shit about your uniform. Like, fuck you, bitch. I'm not cutting my hair.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I had short timers. I had that so tough the last probably month. The last month that I knew that I was going to be in the military, man, I was fucking off so bad. And a lot of them, we wore scrubs, so it was in uniform. It was uniform to the clinic, and then that was it. You know what I mean? You left with the uniform, or if you were gonna go to the gym afterwards, then you can leave in your PT gear. But most of the time, I was always in scrubs. And I was checked out. I was ready to get out, and when I got out, man, I drove to my apartment, packed all my shit. And my girlfriend at the time, we left, packed my car up, and we took off. Packed up a U-Haul. I think my brother helped me drive home. I think he drove my U-Haul home. I drove my car home, and we're back in Santa Maria. 5-6 hours later, and next day I'm signing up to go to junior college, or not junior college, the community college, and finding a part-time job. And then a couple months later, I find out that my ex-girlfriend at the time, my baby mom, was pregnant. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
We did a similar thing. I got out. And then my wife got pregnant, and I was like, "Shit,
Yep.
should have had that first one in
Yeah.
while it's still in."
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. I was like, fuck, I probably should just stayed in, man. Fuck. But I was ready. Even when I took my last test, I fucking I made patterns all the way down. All the way down to the fucking test.
Yeah.
And I got called into the office by my HM1. He's all, what the fuck is this? I was like, man, I'm getting out, bro. He's all, I know, but you could have fucking tried. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna try for? You know I'm not gonna make E4. I'm not gonna make it. Not with this fucking eval. There's no way. I'm gonna waste my time. And he was like, yeah, there's no way we can talk you into staying. I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way. If you guys would have made me E4, I would have stayed in, but ain't no way now.
Yeah.
And after that, man. But like I said, like a couple months later, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, man, if I could just stayed in, fuck.
Well, that's the most common thing. Like, I've had a lot of veterans on here on the podcast, and the most common thing I've heard is, we get out, we miss the camaraderie after, however long it takes, weeks, months, year, a couple years, whatever. We start missing that camaraderie, like a lot, and because you don't get that anywhere else. Mm-hmm. Like as an adult, there's nothing else you can get that from. No. And then I start talking with people in Airsoft, and they're like, yeah, that's these veterans, that play Airsoft, especially the MilSim stuff where there's big teams, and there's all these different people they can meet. They get some of that feeling back on those weekends with their, with the Airsoft stuff, and it's really helped them kind of transition, especially like a lot of combat vets I've had on here. Matter of fact, he's into music as well. I think he mixes. Yeah, he mixes music. Is Hail Yeah Airsoft. It's HALE, Hell Yeah. But Hail
I'm gonna check that one out next. I'm gonna check that one out next.
Yeah, check him out. He does mixes and stuff, and he's really good. So he's an Army vet and combat vet. So it was I've had a lot of these guys on where they're talking like, man, when I was this really helps with my PTSD, or helps me kind of, I found a place, I found a home outside of the military where, before they were kind of just like, you don't get that, your work buddies, it's not the same. Like when you get in the civ, when you're a civvy and you get out, it's like, it's completely different, man.
Yeah. And that's what I love about your podcast, because you give veterans a platform to not just talk about Airsoft, but they get to talk about everything else and what led them to Airsoft. You know what I mean? And what Airsoft does for them. I mean, for me, Airsoft, I do get that camaraderie, working with the group of guys and playing with them and stuff like that. But I love bringing out my family. That's what I love about it the most. But with it, I do get glimpses and flashes of being back in the military, and I get to play fucking soldier for a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's it's a good fucking time. It's a good fucking time. Right. I fucking love it. I fucking absolutely love playing Airsoft. I love it. I love it because again, with my family, especially my son, he's downstairs right now. I should have brought him up, but he probably almost asleep. But him at 6 years old competing out there and just seeing him push ahead of me. You know what I mean? I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. I love seeing it, man. I love seeing it.
That's young. Yeah. That's cool that he's into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I have him in this. So I had we hit my fiancé, and I had a hard time finding him a plate carrier or any type of vest. So we bought him this. It's like it's for like dirt bikes or something like that. Right. So, the dirt bikes, it has the shoulders and the forearms all covered up, all his entire back, and that's what we strapped him up in.
That's a good idea, man. Because they sell those for young kids.
Yeah. And it was perfect. I was like, oh, this is perfect. You're totally armored up. You're good to go, bro.
That's cool.
You're good to go. And he got shot a couple of weeks ago in the shoulder for the first time. It finally went through. Finally tagged him on a good spot. And he's like, I think I got shot. Dad showed me he had a bruise. Finally, he showed me. I was like, you
Dude.
got a more wound. You
Yeah,
probably
battle
got a more
wound,
wound.
man. Right. Oh, that's cool.
I was like, but does it hurt? Is it that bad? He was like, not that bad. I was like, yeah, it's
Oh,
not
that's
that
cool.
bad at all. Yeah, man.
Well,
He
too,
is a
what's really cool is the like you're talking about with the family and what we mentioned earlier too, like the airsoft as a hobby and a sport, whatever. Like being able to do it with your spouse or your family and that kind of
Mhm.
thing. It makes your home life way different because now outside of work you have something to look forward to.
Mhm.
Typically, for married couples, it's the old kind of, I guess, jokes or whatever, like the guy has his thing like bowling night or
Right.
golf or
Or
whatever,
golf. Yeah,
and his
yeah,
wife doesn't like, that he spends so much time on that hobby. Whereas
yeah.
airsoft, when the wife or girlfriend or, both of them or whatever, they're all into it, there's not that tension,
No,
right? It's
no.
totally gone because they're
Yeah,
both kind of like excited about it,
yeah, yeah.
and they're not, now of course there's still the financial part, like you said earlier, like what I've said too. If I bought a $2,000 airsoft gun, bro.
It's not
Oh
happening.
yeah, that I would start World War III. I think I made a joke one time. I was like, somebody was trying to talk me into going to this like traveling somewhere where I would have to fly and then get all this gear and shit like that to go to this event. And I was like, oh, you want to start World War III for me? Yeah, talk me into going to this thing where I got to buy a ticket for the event and a plane ticket and this and
Yeah,
this and this.
yeah,
My wife would have a fucking heart attack. No,
yeah,
so.
yeah. My lady would flip out. There's no way. Ain't no way. Uh-uh.
That's funny. Hell
I,
yeah.
I mean, I feel bad when it's just my son and myself when we go to the field because when I ask her if she wants to go, it's usually yes, but we'll see because
Yeah.
we have the two little ones and stuff like that. And
Right.
I really don't like. So if we get grandma to watch the little ones, then
Yeah.
then wifey's all about it. She's really ready to go. There was one instant where she had to hang back because my 3-year-old, he's a wild one. This little guy, he'll curse you out. You know what I mean? He's that type
Oh,
of
that's
kid. You know what I
funny.
mean?
Yeah.
He drops f bombs all day, man. And
Oh
it's
my
my fault. You know
God.
what I mean? I got a sailor's mouth. He drops it all the time, and my ladies all the time. I don't know why he's always talking like that out. To me, I know why because I always
Right.
fucking say it. I'm always saying it.
Uh-huh.
Saying it.
Yep.
But when he's having his little tantrums and stuff like that, she has to hang back. And I remember we were at grandma's house. She's all, just go, because it was already getting late. She's all, just go, just take Tyson, go out there and have fun. And within an hour, I scared walking into the field, and I'm like, I got your gun in the car. Do you want it? She's like, I forgot my shoes. I was like, fuck your shoes. I'm gonna go grab your gun. You're gonna fucking play. It's all right. Let me go get my armband real quick. Let me go get my wristband. So we started playing, man, and we had a fucking blast.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
she left behind at grandma's house, man. And I was like, I knew it. I knew she was gonna come because we had already been talking about it. We were all excited, and she had to hang back for a little bit, and she was just like, just go. But then when I seen her walk onto the field, I was like, oh fuck yeah, hell yeah, let's get it, let's go, let's have a good time now. Yeah, we had such a good time as a family, man. There's not, like I said, there's nothing else that I can compare to airsoft as far as like something that I share, like, especially with my lady. Like
Mm-hmm.
we do share a lot of the same interests as far as like music and food and the type of shows like that we like to watch and shit like that. But when it comes to airsoft, that's a hobby, and to share this particular hobby, something where we're, it's actually physical. We're actually going out there and
Right.
doing something physical. Yeah. It's a good time, man. And I tell all the time, man. Yeah, you gotta be in shape to be able to do this shit. You can't go out there and all slouchy and shit. You can't be. You can't
Slouchy
be.
and shit.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't. You can't,
That's
man.
funny.
All my
Yeah.
brother-in-laws. The first night we went out, a couple of my brother-in-laws, they were fucking hurting because they weren't used to the, just a squat and then getting down and being on down one knee, getting up, popping down. You know what I mean? Using
Yeah.
cover and all that shit. They were sore as hell the next day.
Oh, I'm
I was
sure.
like, you got to be a little bit in shape to be able to play this
yeah.
sport, man. It's cool out here.
Well, dude, I went to these couple mil sims, whatever, and I'm, it's a huge AO,
Mhm.
and where these guys went, where I went, and I'm not even playing. I just went as a press pass, with a press pass, and I'm walking around following these guys, taking pictures or whatever, like, and I wouldn't follow them into the, into the combat area where they're going. I'm just hanging back, but I'm walking, from just long distance for me, and I mean, I'm that weekend, I'm sore as fuck just doing that shit. So, oh yeah, but yeah, carrying all that gear and these guys getting out there when you're not used to it. Because two of my sons, they go out and play. They're in their 20s. They were offensive linemen in high school, right, on football team.
Boys.
So they were big, strong as fuck. But then high school ends. They keep eating like they did when they were in high school, but they're not working out like football practice like they were. So now they're gained like fucking 80 pounds in less than a year or something, and they're like, holy shit, I don't know what happened. I'm like, bro, you're shoveling food in like a damn bulldozer and you're not working out. So they go out to this mill sim. They're carrying all this fucking gear and this, these heavy replica, these like the all metal ones.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
My one son had a 249 that was full metal, and this thing was like 12 pounds. Okay, and then he slaps a box mag on it. He's like, yeah, I'm going to take this to the weekend. And I just started laughing. I was like, okay, have fun. He's like, yeah, it's not that bad. Okay. Yep. Yeah. 12 pounds ain't shit. It sounds like really like nothing. Okay.
Right.
Like you pick that shit up, like, okay, whatever. It's a grocery bag,
Yeah.
Yeah. Now hold it up for, an hour. See what happens.
Yeah.
Arms are like shaking and shit. He came back. He was like, holy shit, man. Never doing that again. But yeah, they go out and they're just, they're wrecked when they come back because, they feel great. It's good for them, but yeah, they're very sore when they come back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's another aspect of why I like playing Airsoft. It keeps me, it's another activity that I get to do. I mean, I consider it cardio day. You know what I mean? Running around. I work out at least three to five times a week. For the most part. We this community that we stay at has a clubhouse with a gym, so I utilize that as much as possible. But Airsoft is just another physical activity. I can't play rec ball anymore. It's a young man's sport. I played some pickup ball a couple months ago.
I was going to ask you about basketball because I see your Lakers flag back there.
Yeah.
I
play basketball. I love basketball, but my body does not. I tell my body to move a certain way, and it's not responding as fast as it used to be. So I'm just like, fuck, man.
The spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. Okay.
I cannot.
It is, bro.
It just does not move as.
The funny thing is, it's like in our minds, we still think we can do that.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work as well as it doesn't turn out as good as we think it's going to turn out. Like, oh shit. Yeah, so are you following the playoffs right now?
Yeah. I fucking have it streaming right now.
There you go. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
It's just popped up on my phone. So I think they're up. They're playing the Golden State Warriors right now, game 1 in Golden State. I think they're up. Last time I checked, it was probably like 5 minutes ago. They were up. So
I was talking to somebody last night, and the guy was he was watching a Golden State game. He's watching that game. He's like, "Yeah, I'm watching Steph Curry right now." I was like, "All right, cool."
Yeah, Steph Curry's dropped 50 in his last game, man. Dropped 50. Amazing,
bro.
In Sacktown. That's crazy. They blew him out, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, were you? Did you grow up liking basketball? Was that one of your sports?
It was the first sport that I fell in love with. I was 6 years old when I watched the Lakers play. It was probably '89. They lost to the Bulls. I think it was the Bulls. Or was that 90, 91? Whenever the Bulls won their first championship, it was when fucking Jordan did the switcheroo layup. Yep. I remember, and it was the first time I watched Jordan play.
Posters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The first time I ever watched Jordan, because Magic was my favorite player.
Oh, okay.
I gravitated toward Magic, and I saw Jordan play. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? How's he soaring through the sky like that? What the hell? I was like, oh my god, this guy's unstoppable.
Yeah.
I was like, there ain't no way we're gonna beat him. There ain't no way. But yeah, it was the Lakers. I fell in love with the Lakers. I've been a Laker fan ever since. I'm not an obnoxious Laker fan where I talk about the Lakers all the time. But I do watch them low key and behind the scenes. I'm a huge fan. I don't talk about
Dude,
them.
I love seeing passionate fans like people
Oh,
I've
yeah,
talked with that are in that are from Philly. Man, Eagles
Oh,
fans.
yeah.
People from Philly, man, they're just passionate about all kinds, everything.
Super
Like,
passionate. Super
yeah,
passionate.
I mean, it you should be like that. It's always root for your home team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love to see that. So
Now, when I was younger, I used to be an obnoxious Laker fan and nonstop talking about it. Like,
oh yeah, gotcha.
he grew up watching, Kobe. Kobe was my favorite
yeah.
player. After Magic,
Gotcha.
it was Kobe, and I never looked back. And especially him staying with the Lakers, his whole entire tenure with the Lakers. I never switched team. I never looked at another player. He was my favorite player growing up. Ever since I was like about, I think he came into the league when I was like 13, and I've just been watching him ever since. Up until his last game when he dropped to, what was it, 60 points in his last game? It was crazy.
Dude. Yeah. Yeah, he went out with a bang for sure. But that's really unusual, man. These as far as sticking with the team that long,
Yeah.
like professional sports,
Not anymore,
once
you don't see that anymore.
no, we don't. Yeah, it's very rare.
Yeah,
Very rare.
the star switch teams, very often now in the NBA.
Yeah.
But they see it as a business. They don't just see it as loyalty
Right.
or this. It's business. Straightly, if the owner is going to treat it like a business, the player should treat it like a business too. And I do respect that. But yeah, it's very rare that you'll see a player stick with one team throughout his entire career.
It's like a college ball. I think is probably the most where they're that loyalty to the town, to the college, to the that kind of thing. Like you ever talk or see people from Indiana? The Hoosiers.
Mm-hmm.
It's this is like a huge thing for them. It's like a basketball town, right?
That's where
And the coach feels that, like they feel obligated. It's like this this big loyalty. I remember when we grew up in the area we grew up in. There's a town that most people haven't heard of. It's called Massillon, Ohio, and they're known for their high school football. Their high school team is almost, at least back then, is almost like a college team. They could probably play against some really like low end college teams and win. I mean, they're fucking great. But the whole town, like literally when you drive into the town, they've got tiger paws painted because it's the Massillon Tigers. You got tiger paws painted on all the street, main streets and stuff all the way through town. The whole fucking town, bro, is all Massillon Tigers. All their kids are groomed from like 4 years old to play football. Like this is a football town. Yeah, it's you don't really see that too many times in professional sports as much as you used to. Like back in the 80s, man, it was like the Cleveland Browns. I grew up in Cleveland, so we were Browns fans. The Cardiac Kids, right? And then the Dog Pound, right at the end of the one end zone seats or whatever in the stadium. It was like that was the thing, man. Like nobody cared about the team that much. I mean, we did, but because we lost all the time. So, but we found these ways to like be loyal to the, we're like, man, oh yeah, they're the Cardiac Kids. Yep. Okay, here we go. And they would make some great plays at the end, and almost get there. And then, fuck you, bitch. We're not, we fucked it up.
But that was the culture. The culture.
Yeah, the culture, bro.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's when you find that where you fit in and you feel like this is an awesome thing, and you feel that you have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Then some of that, but I think a lot of that's gone away with professional sports.
Yeah.
It does come up with the playoffs. So like any playoffs, so you got the NHL going on right now with the playoffs, like that's a big hype, and then you got the NBA, of course. Just a few months ago we had Super Bowl and NFL playoffs and all that kind of shit. So I think the only one that most people don't care about anymore is the World Series.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about baseball, bro.
No,
I hate
not at
saying
all.
that. I know it used to be America's sport, but it's fucking boring to watch. Okay,
It is. Yeah.
it's so
yeah.
boring to watch.
I try to get my son into baseball, and I thought he was going to do well with it, but he never gravitated towards it. He actually he came to me, and this is my boy Tyson, the one that plays Airsoft. He came to me and told me I want to play soccer, and so we signed him up for soccer. He's been going to these clinics for the past month and a half now, and I just see him. Yeah, he's on it, like watching
Nice.
YouTube videos on it. Video games is what he's playing.
Damn.
Yeah. He
That's awesome.
He's got a super focus, like he's got an OCD type of, like
Yeah.
kind of. I think he shares that same kind of like drive and mentality that I have when I have a passion and a love for something. I
Right.
completely immerse myself in it, just like Airsoft. Like I told him, you see how I get with Airsoft. Now I'm totally immersed in it. I want to watch, listen, and just be around it as much as possible, so I can get as much information as I can about it. And he has that same kind of mentality, and I see it with him in soccer.
Yeah.
And there's out here in Vegas, I believe soccer is one of the bigger games out here that the kids love to play. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And as far as culture goes, I see Airsoft growing quite rapidly. We have an evac outpost. I think I told you earlier that an evac outpost that's going to be opening up here pretty soon, and I think that's just going to grow the hobby and the sport even more.
Right.
With that coming out here.
Oh, that's
Because
awesome.
I think there was a couple of other airsoft fields that closed down during the pandemic. A couple of them stayed open, and I think because they still had paintball going and stuff like that. But with that evac outpost opening up, it's gonna grow the sport, and I think a lot more kids are gonna want to play, especially with that store that they have. You know what I mean? It's gonna blow up out here. I believe in the Las Vegas scene is about to blow up as far as Airsoft goes.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see. Most people I talk with that are in areas where it's not really like they didn't have fields around them, or some of the fields closed or whatever, and now they're getting this. Even if they don't have a field open yet, they're getting all their friends together. Like they're getting on Facebook groups and just getting together.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's meet over here, and they just go and do pickup games and stuff. So it's gaining this popularity.
Yeah.
With the community, it's like somebody. One of the guests I had on here a long time ago said they had this phrase that was really, it explained Airsoft really well, as far as the it's the most popular sport, or the most popular hobby that no one's ever heard of. And I was like, it is, dude, because the people that are in it are really into it, and the community is like, it's like when I think I made we were talking about it, and I said, I couldn't believe how when I started talking with these people on here on the podcast, where from all these different countries and stuff, how many people were into Airsoft, but yet the general public hasn't heard about it.
Right.
He said, "Yeah, it's the most popular hobby that no one's ever heard of." I was like, "Holy shit, that's so true." That's so true.
And the community with Airsoft, as far as my experience goes, they're so nice. It's not at all. Like I've been in different communities, like a gaming community. Like you'll run into so many toxic people. You know what I mean? It's just so much shit talking. So many people talking shit, online. You play games. I heard that I've been listening to your podcast, so I know you're playing Division, man. I need to add you. I need to add you on Division. Oh yeah, so we bought it during launch. Me and my buddy. There's about 4 of us that we would play that, and they've been on it since Division 1. I joined up on Division 2. We bought it,
Gotcha.
and then we stopped playing it for a little while. But just recently, I jumped back on. My buddy's been playing it. He's been on it. So me and him been jumping on, doing I just completed. I bought the that New York
expansion
DLC pack. Yeah, the expansion pack. Finally completed that. Got to level 40. Now I've been doing the what was it? The raid, the 8-man raid. What's the countdown?
Oh shit,
bro.
Oh, is it? Oh, the countdown.
Yeah.
The 15-minute timer.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so fun.
Oh man, I played it this morning. Right before I had to go pick up the kids, I was like, I got a little bit of time. Let me go ahead and do a little 15-minute raid real quick. So I've been trying to get all this striker gear going and shit. And I mean, I don't really hear too many people talking on that, but any other community like Call of Duty, or I don't know if you're familiar with NBA 2K that much, but 2K, those communities, they're so fucking toxic, man. But the airsoft community, and I think it's because it's personal. And, you get up close and personal with people. You're meeting them face to face, so there can't be that toxic. You know what I mean? You're meeting genuine people that want to be nice. Like I said, when they like my son's first experience was so great for him. Like they made sure that they were going to take care of him and make sure that they didn't overshoot his ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I say I don't mind it. I don't personally mind it.
Right.
Because it's part of the game. But because I heard them and made sure that all the other kids that were there and made sure all the other adults that were playing, made sure that the young ones that were there that looked like they shouldn't be there playing but were there playing anyway, they made sure that they took care of them, man, and they had a fucking blast. And I can't say it enough. I fucking absolutely love Airsoft because of that, and the community and all the guys that I play with now and that I've met, at the field, all the regulars. I've met vets that are playing, and one of the guys from LV Rogue, his name is Moses. He's a Navy vet too. He used to be a CB. Cool. I mean, just one of the nicest people I've met. One of the nicest.
Reach out to them, to that team.
Yeah, they're cool, man. Yeah, reach out to them. I'll shoot you all their information, all their handles and stuff like that. I'll shoot that all to you. They're some cool ass cats, man. I definitely have them on the podcast because I mean, their gear, they're Gucci'd out. You know what I mean? They are Gucci. You know what I mean? But they also play. They play tactical. They play smart.
Yeah.
They play as a team, and it's fun to run with them. I have an absolute blast running with them. I had a great time playing with my brother-in-laws, but now they can't make it as often. So every time I go out of the field, I'm running with those guys. And we have a good time, and we're running shit. Sometimes we have to pull back a little bit so the other team has a chance to make runs.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some cool ass cats that I absolutely love playing with. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
There's some nice guys, man. Nice.
Well, listen,
nice
ET, bro, it's been awesome talking with you, man.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah, really fun. I'm so glad you reached out.
Absolutely.
How are we connected? And it's been cool. And speaking of, hitting people up and sending information, send me those guys, their Instagram or wherever I can get in touch with them. Our podcast, well, if you've been listening to them, Hefe's Airsoft Solution and Skirmish, sponsored the episodes here. And so I was talking with Brandon just this morning, and he said if anyone that I talk with from now on, if you guys would like an extra patch, right, he'll send out a patch to you. If you hit him up, like sometime, I'll send you his link, or it's on all our videos. But so if you hit him up on Instagram, Skirmish, then he'll send you a patch if you want.
Oh, sweet! So, hell yeah!
Yeah, it'd be cool. And they, speaking of, we were talking about gloves and stuff earlier. They have like in the mystery box and stuff, they just came out with gloves.
I've seen that. I just followed them on Instagram today.
Okay,
I just followed them on Instagram, and I saw that they have gloves. I was like, that's a smart ass move,
dude.
Yeah.
Airsoft has meme. She did she's out in Cali. She did a video explaining, showing them off and like showing how they worked and shit. Really cool. Really cool.
I think LV Rogue ran with her.
At Battle LA.
No. At the Tactical League this past weekend.
Oh
or
shit.
Maybe it was at Sea Village or one of these past events. I think they run with her. They run with Biohazard.
Right.
They run with a lot of some big wigs as far as Airsoft goes. They run with them. Yeah.
Yeah, because the KWA Tactical League, they're running the skirmish system for their games as well. So that's really out there.
They need to run that out here. They need to run that shit
for
because
sure,
I
dude.
want to know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Well, the word's getting out. It's it's definitely gonna spread.
Yeah,
I'm
they're gonna
really
change the
looking
game.
forward. It really
They're gonna change
does,
the
and
game.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it at these bigger Milsim events.
Yeah,
That's what it was really designed for, and I'm really excited to see that when if somebody's going to pick it up
oh
eventually.
yeah.
For that. I mean, a lot of the places it's at now is like indoor fields and stuff, shorter fields or whatever.
Mhm.
But I'm really looking forward to some of these bigger events.
Yeah,
Picking
man.
it up, and I could, you can see the individual stats,
Hmm.
the player stats.
That's
That'd
so
be cool.
dope. And
Yeah,
that's what Airsoft needs. It needs innovation. It needs innovation. It needs to
yeah,
continue to grow.
yeah,
And not only with the kids that are coming in, who are the future of the sport, but these smart ass dudes that are he fucking went to MIT. You know what I mean? He
yeah.
knows what
He's a
the fuck
Navy
he's
vet.
doing.
He's a
Yeah,
Navy vet. Yeah.
yeah. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He
I'm
knows exactly
saying,
what the hell
bro.
he's doing, man.
Listen, he was one of the ones when I invited him on here. It was that same thing I was talking about earlier, where I didn't know hardly anything about him. One of the
Right.
guys I talked with earlier, before that, Honey Badger, he goes, "Oh yeah, I went to this field and they had this thing. It's called skirmish." He was telling me about it. He was all excited about it. He was, showing me the wristband thing, or whatever. And I was like, "What is that? I've never heard of it." So I didn't really know very much about Brandon at all. So when I had him on here, as we're talking, I'm asking him like, "Well, how did this happen?" Well, and he's real modest. He's not bragging, right? He's just like,
Hmm.
"Well, the Navy sent me to MIT," and I was like, "Whoa, hold the fuck on now." I'm like, what? So, it's funny, like when you just don't know where certain people come from and what, the
Right.
background and stuff. And then, like yourself, you got all this music stuff and it's just, it's cool to find that out. But
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
so yeah, you definitely would get along with all these guys that, I've talked with Brandon with Skirmish and, all these other veterans I've talked with.
Yeah, man.
So
You need to have
Muddy
a
Reviews, yeah, Muddy
yeah,
Reviews.
yeah.
He's Navy vet as well.
Yeah, I watched his review of the MCX. The mods
Nice.
he's done to it and shit like that. So when I saw his podcast on Spotify, I was like, oh, I know what the fuck that is. I've watched his videos and shit.
Oh,
So
that's awesome, dude.
yeah, man. Yeah,
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you so much. Appreciate your time. Yeah, let everybody
Thank
know
you.
where they can find all your stuff, even your like songs and everything. Where
Yeah.
and I can put all these links in as well.
So on Instagram, it's just Bred BRED_savage. That's my Instagram handle. On YouTube, I have a YouTube channel where my son and I used to do unboxings, but now he wants to unboxings with like toys and stuff. We used to go we used to toy hunt. So
Yeah.
we used to make these videos where we go toy hunting, find these these hard to find toys and collectibles and stuff like that, unbox them and stuff. So we have a YouTube channel. It's under Bred Savage as well. And also, my son has an Instagram. He is I would consider him one of the youngest airsofters in the world. So follow him. It's Trigga, TRIGGA_Tyson. Follow him on Instagram. And LV Rogue, it's LV_Rogue. I believe that's what it is. Hold on, let me make sure I got that right because I want to make sure that they get some love.
Hell yeah, dude.
There's some cool ass cats, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna reach out to them and get them on here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Las Vegas, so it's LAS Las_Vegas_Rogue. So follow
Gotcha.
them on Instagram, and then I'll shoot you all of their handles individually. My boy Ricky, my boy Smooth, AJ, his son Aiden, and Moses. Those are the main guys that I know, and Caleb. He's also a new cat that I believe that just started running with them as well and started going to events with them. So hopefully I can make some of these events with them because I definitely want to run some major events with these guys. There's some cool ass cats, man. Thank you
Awesome,
again.
man.
Thank you again. I appreciate you having
Absolutely,
me, man.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we'll do it again soon. We'll
Absolutely.
do it again soon.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
That was
All
fun,
right, brother.
man.
You have a good night.
You too, brother. I'll see you
All right.
later.